Hey, hello everybody. I think we're live. Let me just check on Twitch. Um, uh, uh, uh,
Yes, we are.
uh.
Yes.
Okay, great. I now have to mute this so it doesn't sound in cycle. Okay, great. So let me announce it here. Okay, so welcome everybody. This is gonna be the stream of the final tournament. I hope you enjoyed submitting votes for this game and thinking about strategies and coming up with cool stuff for all these challenges presented in this game. I'm gonna host it today. That's why we have some issues, because this is like the first time I host and I don't know how to use all of this stuff. With me is Andreu also. He's also in the voice chat, I think. And Martin may be here if he fixes his audio issues. He cannot talk on Discord apparently, and we've surrendered and there's no fix apparently.
Yeah. Hi everyone, and let us know if something is.
Yeah, sure. Please, can someone tell me if you can hear me correctly, or if you can view the whole screen? Like, this is gonna be the first game that we're playing. So, as you can see, this is the first map, the first game of the tournament. You can see we posted the bracket on Discord, and we have it right here. We also have some nice ads in this bracket, because if I'm in incognito mode, I don't have the ad block. So I guess that's a thing. But I think Andreu is going to be updating the bracket in the background, so we don't have to worry about that. So first of all, so this is the final tournament. The final tournament is gonna be a double elimination tournament. So we're gonna have we're gonna have way more games than in other tournaments. It's also gonna be a best of 5. So you have to win 3 games to pass round, and you have to also lose 2 rounds to get eliminated. So the thing is that there's a winner's bracket and a loser's bracket. When you lose one of the best of 5s, you go to the loser's bracket, and you still play there. And once you lose in the loser's bracket, that's when you're out of the tournament. So this year it's gonna be similar to the first 2 years, in which we're gonna give a prize to the first 6 teams. We're gonna tell more information later when we get there. And you don't have to worry about that. You're gonna like, if you're in one of the top 6 teams, you're gonna receive an email by tomorrow probably with the instructions that you have to do. Okay. Am I missing something, Andreu?
We'll send also the email for the prizes for the other tournaments.
Oh yeah, sure. Like, of course, like the winners of the other tournaments that we stated before, they also receive a prize. So don't worry, if you fall into any of those categories, you're gonna receive an email tomorrow. So what's next? Well, let's take a look at the bracket. We're gonna start here in round 1. Then we're gonna go to losers 1 round. We're gonna always do. No, sorry, I forget. We're always gonna do winners first, then losers. So we're gonna go winners round 1, then winners round 2, then losers round 1, losers round 2, then winners round 3, losers round 3, losers round 4, winners round 4, etc. We're gonna find out. It doesn't matter that much. Okay, so I don't know. Should we get started, Andreu?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so let's go with the first. Oh, sorry, I forgot a very important thing. So if you are in one of the top 3 teams, so we're gonna run this tournament until there's like 3 teams left, and if you're in one of those 3 teams and you want to explain what your bot does, like what did you code, why is your bot so good, then you can join our Discord chat. and you can explain it to us while your bot plays. So to do that, basically, when there's three teams left, you can join the general channel, and please have like the name of your team in your user. You can change it for this channel in the Discord, and we're gonna move you whenever you have to play to the chat that we're using. So with that, let's start this. Hopefully everything goes well. So we're starting with El Club de la Lucha against Felix in this map called Tree. As you can see, there's a lot of resources. I don't know how large they are. They're like 25 each here, and apparently 500 rock. And there you put like a lot of resources here. So as you can see, Felix starts mining a lot of these resources, while El Club de la Lucha is just waiting for the right technologies to come in. Now they start building both. However, it would seem that Felix has an advantage because it has mined so many of these resources, and it's like very, very close to the wheel. It's like literally right there, and it gets the wheel first, and it wins the first game. With this, we can move to the game 2. This map is called 1 because it's 8/8. As we can see again, Felix does a lot of workers and get all of these resources. It gets to the resources in the opponent side of the board, but it doesn't get them all. But again, both teams started constructing, and it seems that both teams are one technology away from the wheel, but Felix ends up taking this game 2 as well. Let's go with the game 3. This map, there's like a 250 stone in the middle and 250 wood in the corners of the board. And again, it seems that Felix has a little bit of an edge because of the stones in the middle. And yeah, it uses these resources to get the wheel faster. So it advances to round 2. And El Club de la Lucha goes to the losers bracket, and we'll see them there. So let's go with the second game of the board. Okay, let's see if Andrea is updating this correctly. But
right now.
Okay, yeah, 3-0 for Felix. Yeah, this is getting updated. Let's go with the second game. It's gonna be Rosa El Megua against Fracope. Fracope. So again, it seems that Rosa it's getting all of these sweet resources in the middle and all of this like stone. It's producing like a large army and surrounding with a weird dance around the enemy base. And it uses this army basically to crunch into the enemy base and win by destruction. So it's game 1 for Rosa. Let's see game 2. Again, Rosa gets all of these resources. It doesn't get these stones because apparently they're in range of the enemy base. However, they're protected. It doesn't matter that much. It ends up producing like a huge army and defeating Fracope again in game 2. Let's go for game 3. Again, we know this map. There's like 250 of each of these resources. It seems that Rosa is getting all of them. Again, it's producing like a large army, and it's gonna crunch in turn 1500. Yeah, it does, and it gets the third game as well. So this round is for Rosa 3-0. Let's advance to the next round. So it seems that there's like different strategies. People go to the wheel. People go for destruction. I guess that was the aim of this game. Let's go with the third game. It's gonna be Boston Colleges against Flu Fighters. Let's go with game 1. Gonna put it a little bit slower, maybe 64 is too fast. So as we can see, Boston Colleges gets all these sweet resources. Again, it gets like all the stone and it gets the wheel in just 800 rounds.
Actually, it's using a lot of draw card.
Yeah, apparently it's like drawing everything like the same number. It's the same number everywhere. It is the same number. It draws like the same number in every tile. No one knows what this means. Maybe they can explain it to us. Let's go with game 2. So now it seems that both teams got the resources. Oh, but Boston College did more workers and overhaul and overrun like the enemy base as well and got their resources. So let's see if they can put all of these resources to use and get the wheel quicker. It seems so. Yeah, they got the wheel, and they get this game as well, so they're 2-0 ahead. Let's go for game 3. So again, they seem to have the edge by getting all of these resources in the middle. They're getting also the wood in the side. I would expect them then to also be able to produce the wheel quicker. They're building all of these like production buildings, yeah, and they get the wheel in just like 1,000 rounds. So this is gonna be 3-0 for Boston Colleges, and they advance to the next round. So we're gonna go with the next game, the Viper against Technocrats. So if I remember correctly, oh, they didn't change their bot, so their bot still kills itself in 20 rounds. So yeah, the first game is gonna be for the Viper, and I can expect the other two games to go the same way. Yes. And the third one, no surprises here. So the Viper gets this round 3-0 and advances to the next round. And let's go with the next game, Audrey against Wololo. So it seems that Audrey is getting all of these resources as well. Apparently in this map it's like very important to get your workers to get all of these resources in the middle, because there are a lot of them, especially there's like a lot of stone. But it seems that Wololo just forgot about these resources and just sent like a lot of axemen here to bother. And well, they're being kited by all of these spearmen. So it seems that in the meantime, Audrey has been building technology and got the wheel. Oh no, it didn't get the wheel actually. It is one technology away, but there's 2,000 rounds and it has more resources invested in technology in more level, so it gets its first game. Let's go with the second one with a smaller map. So as we can see, let's go a little bit slower. As we can see, we know that Audrey has a little bit of an edge in resources, but Wololo has more troops and it's like invading, and it's invading Audrey's side of the board. However, it got wiped out, and now it's Audrey again who has the advantage in troops, and it doesn't matter that much because the game ends and Audrey has more technology resources. So this is gonna be 2-0 for Audrey. Let's go for game 3. Are we ever gonna see one of the other two maps? I don't know. So again, it seems that Audrey has quicker workers and they get to all of these resources in the middle, which is quite important. However, again, Wololo starts building axemen and spearmen, and they're getting closer and closer. They get the settlement and they get some of the troops, but it seems that they're being kited out by these spearmen. Also, it seems that Audrey has built like a huge lead on stone and wood, so I expect them to be able to produce like a lot of farms if they eventually get the technology. But it seems that, well, those troops are not going away and they're winning this time, so Audrey may have a hard time refilling them out. However, the game is about to end. It's like already 1,800 rounds. And Wololo this time has more technologies. And indeed, Wololo wins because of the technology level. So this means that we go for game 4. And this game is called 5 Rings, in honor to the Olympics. So hopefully you can see, because it's pretty small in my screen at least. Again, Audrey is getting all of these resources in the middle. There's like a lot of wood, a lot of stone here to mine. It also got the technology navigation apparently, it's like going out in the water. And well, those troops this time are like very, very far away. They are not meaning any trouble for Audrey. And Audrey now is like very close to the wheel. It's already like in level 3. And it has 1,000 of each resource. Yeah, and it gets the wheel quicker. So Audrey gets 3-1 this round. and advances in the winners bracket. And we can go for the last two games. It's gonna be Tastosis against Chavito and Nombre Muy Original against Carbasots. Let's go with the first one. Tastosis against Chavito. So, as we can see, apparently Tastosis is also writing something different in each of these tiles. So, Tastosis apparently also writes in every tile, but now it's different. And these workers are running out of bytecode, it seems. But they got all of the resources in the map. They have a lot of troops. They're like they have 10 technologies. They have like 10,000 of stone and of food. But it seems that they are not producing that much wood because apparently they're like spending so much on torches. So so the wood increases like very, very slowly, and they don't seem to be building a lot of sawmills either. So I don't know if this is a bug or... Now actually Chavito is getting closer in technologies. They have 13 technologies, while Tastosis only has 11, but it has like so much food, so much stone, and it doesn't have the wood.
He's
Now
not
both...
attacking because clearly he could just destroy the enemy base.
Yeah, exactly. But it got first. Chavito got like really, really close here. It got like one technology away, like 1,000 stone, and he would have gotten the wheel. So this first game for Tastosis. Let's go in game 2. Here again, it seems that Tastosis got like mostly all of the resources in the map. It has also complete control of the map. Like, it has all of these wolves going around. Now it seems that they're not using torches anymore. So this is like completely different from the previous game. In the previous game, all the units were carrying torches. Here they don't care at all. And they apparently crunch the enemy base as well. So I don't know, like this is like a completely different strategy. This is like the same player. So they attack the enemy base, they destroyed it, they're not using torches. I don't know. But they still are ahead 2-0. That's gonna be... so yeah, we still need one more game, at least. So again, they're going for the resources quicker. They also get the wood on the sides. And now they have a huge army lead, a huge resource lead. But not a technology lead, actually. Like, they're... It doesn't matter. They crunch the enemy base with these old... like, they do these, like, wolf attack. They attack all together. And, yep, they get 3-0. And they pass to the next round. So with this, we only have one more round in the winner's bracket. We're gonna go with...
versus Carbasots.
Yeah, Nombre Muy Original against Carbasots. Let's go with a tree map. Oh, it seems that Nombre Muy Original is getting these resources. You know, Carbasots also had a worker here, but the worker didn't actually get any of these resources. So I'm confused. However, it seems that Nombre Muy Original is building a huge lead. It has like way more technologies now. It has all of these workers, all of these like buildings, which are partially getting destroyed by these sporadic troops sent by Carbasots. But they still have like, well, I don't know, they're spending all of these resources that they get into more buildings that are getting destroyed. So I don't know if they're actually gonna get a use of this lead. It just seems that Carbasots is having more and more troops every time. Yeah, they're rebuilding all of this stuff, and it's getting destroyed every single time. However, the game ends and they're still ahead in technology level. So Nombre Muy Original gets this first game. Let's see what happens in the next one. Here again, they send like these early workers to get all of these sweet resources. These workers seem to be stuck. There's like a couple of stuck workers there. They still manage to get all the other resources as well. And, oh, they didn't destroy the barracks, and now they're producing troops again, so I don't know if it's going to be the same situation in which you have like all of these Carbasots Axemen destroying all the buildings. Again, Nombre Muy Original has the lead in technology, so if this happens like in the previous game and they don't destroy the base, it would seem that Nombre Muy Original is gonna win. Let's see if something happens. I'm gonna put twice the speed. So, well, as long as Carabasat doesn't put all the troops together and destroy the base, I guess that Nombre Muy Original is gonna be fine, since they have the lead in technologies. In fact, it doesn't seem that anything's gonna change. And indeed, the game ends and Nombre Muy Original wins by technology level. And they're 2-0 ahead. We go to game 3. Oh, it's gonna put it a little bit slower. We know what happens in every game. They get the lead in resources, but now Carabasat spawns like some of these troops. It doesn't seem that Nombre Muy Original spawns any troops at all. So they're just like out producing, like they're building buildings faster than what Carabasats can destroy with their axemen. And in fact, they managed to get the wheel this way, and they get 3-0. Oh, sorry, were you saying something, Andrew?
Actually, Carabasats was sending the units one by one to the enemy base, so they were just dying.
Oh yeah, I saw that some of the units were disappearing, and it seems that Nombre Muy Original does some wells as well. So I don't know, but it seems that the reason why Carabasat's troops are decreasing is because they get too close to the base and they get destroyed. Okay, so with this we finish the first round of winners. So we're gonna also do the second round of winners, and that's because the maps used in the second round of winners are gonna be the same as in the first round of losers, and we're gonna always show the new maps in the winners bracket as long as it's possible. So I mean the maps are designed. We made like 45 new maps for this tournament. That was like a lot of work. And it's designed in a way so that no bot plays 2 times on the same map. So like as you can see, the round 2 winners doesn't have any intersection with round 1 losers. So that's fine. So let's gonna go with round 2 winners. And the first game is gonna be Forcefully Vax Kids against Felix in a map called Rocky. So, as we can see here, it seems that Forcefully Vax Kids send like a huge amount of workers, and they got all the resources in the middle. However, it doesn't seem that they're ahead in technologies or economy. Of course, they're ahead in units in the map and board control. However, it seems that Felix has like these 5 buildings, and it's fine staying there, building technologies. In fact, it is ahead in technologies. While Forcefully Vax Kids is building more and more troops and surrounding base. It doesn't seem that it bothered Felix. And actually Felix wins by technology. Like, they have so many troops here around, but Felix just like stood there with its 5 buildings building more and more technology. And he gets his first game. Let's go with the second game. It's gonna be Forcefully Vax Kids against Felix in this map called Small. Again, it seems that Forcefully Vax Kids produces like a large amount of workers compared to Felix. These 2 resources have like a lot of, I think they have like 1,000 each. But Forcefully Vax Kids not only got those, but also got like all of the other in the map. And Felix again is ahead in technology, but Forcefully Vax Kids is building. No, it's still not building the production buildings. Has a lot of workers, a lot of units, but it's not attacking. So is it gonna be able to overcome? Oh, now it's building like a lot of production buildings. So it doesn't seem that they might be able to catch up in technologies. Yeah, they spend everything in one turn. Apparently they both do the same thing. They get the wheel when they can. And Forcefully Vax Kids got the resources first. So they get the second game. We move to game 3. And it's got Tokyo 2020, another map using the Olympics. So as we can see again, Forcefully Vax Kids apparently has a very efficient pathing towards resources. It's getting like all of these resources below, and it gets the wheel in only like 460 rounds. I don't know how many resources were here, like apparently a lot. All of these were like a lot of resources each, so yeah, they got like pretty rich. So they're ahead 2-1 in this round. So with this we go to game 4, which is called Delta. You can get to the Delta through the right side, but you can also cross if you have navigation, like pretty quickly. As we can see, Forcefully Vax Kids already got in the middle. It seems that Felix workers, they're detecting the resources. They're building a lot of workers, but they're stuck. Well, Forcefully Vax Kids got all of them. So I don't know if Felix might be able to catch up by just building technologies. It doesn't seem that way because Forcefully Vax Kids already has almost 10 production buildings of each, and it already has more technologies. And yeah, effectively they get the wheel first, so they're gonna get this first round 3-1, and they're gonna advance to the next round. And with this, we move to the game 2 in winners bracket, which is gonna be Rosa against Boston Colleges. So Rosa is the team that always crunches, right? That always wins by destruction if it wins. So as we can see, although in this game it seems that Boston College has got all the resources in the middle and it has a huge lead in economy. However, Rosa had a more efficient use of its own resources and basically cleared up all the map. Yeah, all the Boston Colleges part of the map. However, they still have some production buildings close to the base. So I guess this will come down if they can get the wheel before Rosa crunches, which is going to be in 200 rounds, if I remember correctly. So they're only one technology away from the wheel. But Rosa goes in and destroys the base when it's only 200 wood away from it. So this game is going to be for Rosa. With this, we move to the second one. The small map here, I guess. Well, I don't know. What do you think, Andrea? Should I put it slower? Or this is the right speed. Well, it seems that both teams are mining the resources here.
There are actually no resources in the middle, right? Only the two on the.
Yeah, there are only 2 resources. Yeah, I forgot. I don't remember all the maps. There are 45 maps. In this map, there's only 2 big resources. So actually, with 2 workers, or actually 3 maybe, because if you want to cycle one while the other one puts its resources in the base, I don't know. But with 2 or 3 workers, you do. But there's a lot of resources, 1,000 of each. And again, it seems that while Boston College just built its technology, built its technologies, Rosa spent all of these resources in troops, and now has complete control of the map, and it's preparing to crunch in 600 rounds, 600 turns. So I guess we can speed this up to see if Boston College manages to get the wheel before that. However, it doesn't seem that way. Well, they're one technology away, but they're only producing the base production. They don't have any building or any structure to help them out. Now Rosa crunches, and it takes game 2 as well. So this is gonna be 2-0 for Rosa. And I guess one advantage of controlling the whole map is that you can also get the food from the deer that spawn, right? Even though there's no resources, there's sporadically you get some food because of the deer that you might find out, that you might find in the map. So this is 2-0 for Rosa. Let's go for game 3, in which we have this map with this huge amount of resources in the middle, which seems to be completely controlled by Boston Colleges. So now they're so close to the wheel, it doesn't seem that they got the wheel again in 500 rounds or 600 rounds, and Rosa doesn't have time to build its army. So this is still 2-1 for Rosa. We move to game 4, which is this Delta map. So it seems that Rosa has a lead because it found all these resources in the middle before Boston Colleges did. And again, they're sending its troops, its army. It has a pretty efficient pathing.
Boston has navigation. It's
Sorry?
just getting to.
Oh yeah, Boston has navigation, so it could go to the other side. Oh, and it doesn't seem that Rosa was able to crunch the base. So Boston Colleges will just keep building technology while the troops came one by one. And it got the wheel first. So Boston Colleges gets this game, and it's 2-2. We move to game 5, which is this cross map, in which if you go straight to the enemy, you don't find any resources, but the resources are on the sides of this plus sign. And again, it seems that Boston Colleges got a little bit of the resources on top, but Rosa found them and built a settlement. Well, these resources are pretty contested, but Rosa is getting the stone here on the bottom. It seems that it's not producing any more workers, so that's it. Well, it gets like this extra production because of this worker on the south. However, it has again the army lead, and we'll see if it manages this time to crunch Boston College's bases or not. So 200 more rounds to go. 100 rounds. And, well, Boston College is close to the wheel. Oh, but Rosa this time managed to defeat Boston College just before it got the wheel. And it takes this game 3-2. So Rosa advances to the next round. And I will go to the next game, which is going to be the Viper against Audrey. We'll start here on the rocky map. Let's go a little bit slower. It seems that both of the teams went to the resources in the middle, but it seems that the Viper got the upper hand on this middle these middle battles, in the battles that happened here in the middle of the map. So now they control the whole map. However, Audrey is pretty close to the wheel. Oh, but it doesn't matter. The Viper like spent all of its resources with all these production structures, and it got the wheel before. So we move to the next one. Again, here there's only 2 resources. So the Viper got all of these workers here that don't know what to do. They're waiting, but they cannot get to these resources because they're protected by the base. However, they have complete control of the map, so they're building all of these structures, boosting their production. They're ahead in technologies as well. So I guess this game is looking good for them. And Audrey has a lot of resources though, but the Viper is spending on production. So, it has like 18 sawmills, 16 quarries, and yeah, they got the wheel first. So, it's going to be 2-0 for the Viper, and we go to game 3. Okay, so again, it seems that whoever gets his resources in the middle is gonna win the game because there's a lot of resources. And it seems that the Viper got a hold on them, so I would expect this game also to go in their favor. Let's see. Yeah, they're doing all of these structures, and they end up winning. They get up getting the wheel also pretty quick. So this round is gonna be 3-0 for Viper, and we move to game 4, which is gonna be Testosis against Nombre Muy Original. So it seems now that both teams head to the middle, but Testosis overwhelms Nombre Muy Original with like this huge flood of workers, and it gets control of the map. However, they both have the same. Actually, Nombre Muy Original has more technology level than Testosis and more resources. Of course, it's behind on troops, and we've seen that Testosis sometimes wins by destroying the enemy base. I don't know if they're gonna do that in this game, or if they're gonna go for technologies. They all rush in and destroy the enemy base, so they take the first game by destruction. So let's go to game 2. To be honest, I don't know exactly when they decide to go for technologies or when they decide to crunch. Apparently, most of the teams only do one of these things. Like they either go all the time for crunching or all the time for winning using technologies. So in this game again, they're producing a lot of workers. However, they're not very useful. Well, they're getting some food from the deer. Well, they're being useful. There are only 2 resources, but again, the deer spawn randomly, so you might get more of them, more of these resources by chasing this deer. Again, they control the whole map. They're behind in technology, so they don't spend as much in technology as other teams. They're just like trying to. Oh, but the rush failed, so now the base is still alive. and they're behind the technologies. However, they have more resources, and they have like some production structures as well. So I don't know. Maybe they'll be able to catch up. However, it seems that Nombre Real has more buildings and is still ahead in technology level. And we're getting close to the end of the game. And in fact, Nombre Muy Original takes this game because of the technology level. So yeah, apparently it's risky if you go for the for the destruction and you don't get it. You fall behind. So let's go for game 3. We're going to this Olympics map, Tokyo 2020. It would seem again that Tastosis gets the resources in the middle, and this is like a huge lead in this map. So, well, they destroy the settlement, but they still have all of the workers there, and they have like nearby settlements, so it doesn't matter that much. They have like almost like 15,000 wood. They have now they're getting also the stone, and they're like only one technology away from the win. Yeah, they get the wheel and win by technology. So it's gonna be 2-1 for Tastosis. So we go for game 4. This delta map here. It seems that Tastosis also gets the resources in the middle before. Oh, and they also got navigation, so now all the workers can go in and out of this delta. Again, they control the whole map. They have all the troops surrounding the enemy base. These wolves do not seem able to do anything against it. And I don't know if they're ahead in technology, so I don't know if they're gonna win by technologies or they're just crunched the base and took this win by destruction. So this is gonna be 3-1 for Tastosis. And they advance to the next round. So with this we complete also winners round 2. So now we're gonna go for losers round 1 and losers round 2. Apparently, okay. Okay, so let's start with losers round 1. We have the first game, Fracope against Flu Fighters. So it seems that both of the teams are here, ignoring the resources in the middle. So let's speed it up. Apparently they both build workers, but they're ignoring the resources, so they're not mining. They're just apparently rushing for the wheel. It seems though that Flu Fighters has a bit of an edge because of all these production buildings. And in fact they win by technology, so they get this first game. So let's see. Yeah, the second game is pretty similar. They got the resources, they built more production buildings, and they get the wheel before. So this is gonna be 2-0 for Flu Fighters. Let's go to game 3. Let's put it a little bit slower, since in this game it usually ends quick. Well, actually, it will not end quick. If the teams are ignoring the resources, then there's no difference between this map and the others. So it seems that both teams are building at the same time, so I guess they are rushing the jobs technology pretty similarly. However, it seems that Flu Fighters is building more production buildings, and that's what it makes that they get the wheel a little bit quicker than Fracope. So they win 3-0 this round, and they advance for the next round. So with this we go to losers 1-2, which is Technocrats against Wololo. It seems that Wololo seems to be Technocrats seems to be killing its own base at round 20 in every game, so it seems that Wololo is gonna take these 3 games pretty quickly. Yes. So Wololo takes this round 3-0, and we go for the final game in this round. For the final round in losers 1, this is gonna be Chavito against Carbasots. So we can see, we see that Chavito actually tried to mine some of these resources in the middle, but Carpazots got to the enemy base and destroyed it, since apparently Chavito is not attacking nearby enemies in the base. So they just go there and destroy it. Let's see the second game if it goes similarly. Oh, it seems again that Carpazots has 2 workers here attacking the enemy base, and yes, they managed to slay it. So they take also the second game. And let's see if the third game is gonna be any different. Again, both teams starts building like these cheap units. However, Carpazots sends 1 worker. No one is attacking the worker. Oh yeah, actually the actual troops attack workers. So these workers from Carpazots were not able to destroy the enemy base this time. However, they're ahead in technologies as well. And now they have, instead of workers, they have like 2 axemen destroying the base, and they managed to finish it. So Carpazots take also this game 3. So with this we advance to the losers round 2 round. Okay, first of all, what happened? Someone entered here in Discord. Oh, Martin, can you hear me? And can you talk? Well, maybe there's still issues.
Do we go to losers round 2 or winners round 3?
We go to losers round 2. So like in winners round 3 uses the same map as losers round 3, I think. Do they? I think so.
No, because if you lose in round 3, you go to losers round 3, right?
No, you go if you lose in winners round 3, you go to losers round 4.
Okay.
So I think the maps in round 2 were used in losers round 1. The maps in round 3 the maps in round 3 are used in losers round 3.
Yeah, my bad, yeah, sure.
Okay, so we can still do one more losers run, I think. Okay, where's the thing? Here, okay. So let's do losers round 2. It's gonna be Nombre Muy Original against El Club de la Lucha. Sorry. So it seems again that Nombre Muy Original is getting all these resources that are pretty close to the base. This is like 30 wood each, and the stone is like 30 stone, so it's not that much, but there's quite a few of them, so you might get a huge lead by getting all of them. So it seems that Nombre Original got, even though the Club de la Lucha is farther ahead in technologies, it seems that Nombre Original built like a lot of these production structures, even though it only has 2 sawmills, so it might fall short on wood, especially if it uses it on torches. They both now are... Oh, El Club de la Lucha got it first, again, because Nombre Muy Original was short on wood. So this first game is going to be for the Club de la Lucha. Go for the second game here. Apparently here, the map is called Go North. Like if you go to the enemy base, then, well, you're not going to see all these sweet resources on the top. It seems that they've been found by Nombre Muy Original. So El Club de la Lucha will have to compensate for this somehow with... Oh, it's building these production structures, but so does Nombre Muy Original. It seems that El Club de la Lucha does it more efficiently. It has like more or less the same of each kind, while Nombre Muy Original has only like 1 farm and 12 and 13 quarries and sawmills respectively. So I don't know if they're gonna be able to get the wheel before the Club de la Lucha does, and in fact, the Club de la Lucha gets the wheel before. So they're 2-0 ahead, and with this we move to game 3. It seems that Nombre Original is trying to get these resources, but this worker is stuck here, and you have to get navigation to get the ones in the middle. Oh, they got there, so now they're also getting the other corner. I don't know if they're ever gonna research navigation though, but now they've built some quarries, some sawmills, and now it's a little bit more distributed. It has 3 farms, 3, 4, 5. So now it seems like a better game for Nombre Muy Original, since it has like a more even production of each of the resources. And it has twice as much as El Club de la Lucha. So El Club de la Lucha is a little bit ahead on resources, and they're the same level, same technology level. But Nombre Muy Original got to level 3 first, and they get the wheel first. So apparently the key of success is having a little bit of even production here between wood, stone, and wood. So still, El Club de la Ducha is ahead 2-1. So we move to game 4, which is called Snow, because this structure resembles like a snowflake. And as we can see, as usual, El Nombre Original gets first all of these resources in the middle, while El Club de la Lucha waits to get the jobs technology and start building. Again, Nombre Original seems to have a little bit more of an even production this time, while El Club de la Ducha is having trouble because it's building sawmills at some point, but they're getting destroyed. Apparently they seem to realize that, and they're rebuilding again the sawmills. Like, it seems that they know how many of each buildings they have. However, Nombre Original has like 13 of each. It seems that El Club de la Ducha cannot come back from this one. And yeah, in fact, Nombre Original takes this game by researching the wheel. So it's 2-2, and we go to game 5 for the first time in the tournament. And again, the resources here in the middle, it's like worth 150 stone and 100 and only 50 wood here. It seems that Nombre Original built a settlement on top of one of the resources, and now the workers are trying to get it. They can't. Unfortunate. So now it seems that El Club de la Ducha starts building all of these production structures, and so does Nombre Original. They're both pretty even on this aspect. They have the same technologies, they have more or less the same structures. Nombre Original has a little bit more of them. So, and they get the wheel first. So I'm not sure if El Club de la Lucha could have won with this amount of resources. Well, they probably know. No, probably not, because some technologies are like 1500, so they cannot do that and the wheel simultaneously. So Nombre Original actually comes back from this round and takes this round 3-2. So now we move to the next game, which is gonna be Audrey against Flu Fighters. Go again, Butterfly. So it seems that actually Flu Fighters research navigation is going through. It is not necessary in this map, but I mean it's still nice to have it. And they're actually using navigation to mine some of these resources. But it seems that Audrey was like way more efficient. Now it has complete control of the map. It can hunt all of these nice deer spawning on top and on the bottom. However, they seem to be going for a technology win instead of crunching the enemy base. And yeah, they get the wheel. So they take this first game, move to the second one. We go to this map, in which, yeah, Audrey found very quickly all of these resources, while Flu Fighter struggles a little bit more to get them. It seems that this worker is a little bit lost and is going in random directions, while Audrey apparently detected all of these resources on the top. With this huge lead, is basically building all these production structures and troops. So this seems like very hard for a comeback from Flu Fighters. Audrey is like only 200 wood away, right? And it's quicker than when I can speak. Audrey gets the wheel, and it's only one game away from winning the round. It's 2-0 ahead. So we move to game 3. Here, Audrey gets all the resources on one of the corners, and most of the other corner as well. Foo Fighters doesn't have any unit on the map, so and it seems that the base is running out of bytecode. So this seems like a pretty rough game for Foo Fighters. Audrey is getting more and more resources with all of these buildings. He's only one away from the wheel, and it gets the wheel and gets this round 3-0 as well, and advances to the next round. So we go to the next game in this series, to the next round, sorry, which is gonna be Boston Colleges against Wolo. We start with Butterfly, and it seems against that Boston Colleges that Wolo is waiting for the coin technology, I think. Well, Boston Colleges got ahead by mining all of these resources. So it seems again that Boston Colleges is having like a huge economic lead, while Wololo has like all these units here. But as long as they don't advance and don't destroy all of these buildings, Boston Colleges will get the wheel before first and get this game. So the first game is gonna be for Boston Colleges. Let's see what happens in the next one. Here again, there are a lot of resources, but they're mostly on the top. They're like 30 each, but there's a lot of them. And Boston Colleges seem to be getting ahead by getting all of these resources, and they're combining it with slaying the deer that were on the top and getting also the food. So they actually have like a quite large lead on food. And it seems that Wololo now is closer to destroying all these buildings, but it never gets close enough. So Boston Colleges just keep stacking resources and winning. So with this, Boston Colleges is 2-0 ahead. And we move to game 3. Now Boston Colleges seem to have trouble finding these resources on the corner. Oh, but it doesn't matter. They researched navigation and got the resources in the middle. Wait, how?
The workers are dying.
Yeah, the workers died with no apparent reason. There was like no enemies. There was like no threat to those workers. I don't know what happened. Maybe they got an exception or they attacked themselves. I don't really know. But yeah, this worker just died. I don't know what happened. This worker just died here for no reason. But it doesn't seem to matter. Boston Colleges is ahead on resources, and they're one away from the wheel, which they get. So they win 3-0 by technology. But apparently they overcame like a pretty nasty bug in their code. So they win this round by 3-0 and advance to the next one. And let's see what happens in Losers 4. The first game is going to be Felix against Carbasots. It seems that Felix gets the resources in the middle. It seems that Carbasots also sends some workers there, but they are not doing anything. This worker does have any food. It doesn't seem that they mined anything from this wood. They're only like 25. I think that Felix used all this economic lead to build an even greater economic lead. It's only one technology away from the wheel, and it gets the wheel. So it takes the first game. Let's see what happens in this round where the resources on the north are in the top of the map. It seems that the Felix workers are scared of the Explorer. Can the Explorer even attack? I don't think it can attack at all. But it's quite intimidating, this Explorer. All Felix workers are stuck in their own base because the Explorer is not letting them pass.
It's because of the smoke signals the Explorer is sending.
Oh my god, intimidating smoke signals. The Gandalf Explorer. But it seems that Carbasots is not using this intimidation power to get a lead, and Felix just built its structures around the base and won by researching the wheel. So second game is also for Felix. And the third, let's see what happens here. So again, the Felix workers are being intimidated by these mighty explorers. However, the game seems to be on a deadlock since no one is doing anything. It seems like Carbasots is sending the troops, but it doesn't matter too much because they're getting one by one into the base and getting slaughtered there. And while this happens, Felix is just happy building its technologies and stacking technologies. It's ahead on technology level and technology, so Carbasots must put it... must like gather all these troops and attack at once. Otherwise, Felix is gonna take this game by technologies. Carbasots doesn't seem to be doing so. So it seems that this lone base of Felix is gonna be able to research. Oh, it doesn't research the wheel, but the game finishes and it ends up winning by technology level. Oh, it doesn't even spend the resources in the last round. Okay, so with this we finish round 2, right? I think Felix takes this game 3-0. And we advance to winners round 3. The first game is gonna be Forcefully Vax Kids against Rosa. The second one is gonna be the Viper against Tastosis. So let's take a look. Oh, my mouse bugged. Let's go with winners round 3. Forcefully Vax Kids against Rosa in this map called Ink. And Ink is because like this, like what the psychologist like gives you to look and tell what you see. It's just like randomly put, we put randomly here in mountains and water and resources. So it seems that Rosa is building its troops around, it's sending its troops around Forcefully Vax Kids base. They're stacking the troops there. Forcefully Vax Kids is defending with wolves, which is a pretty efficient unit if you don't use torches on your troops. But it seems that all of the Rosa's troops are being illuminated, so they managed to repel them. However, Forcefully Vax Kids' better economy allowed them to produce Spearmen to counter all of these Axemen. Basically, Spearmen counter Axemen because they have longer range. So yeah, they managed to repel all of Rosa's troops, and they built the wheel in the background. So they take this first game. Sorry, I put it in the same game. Let's see what happens in game 2. This game is called Deathmatch, because you're basically very close to the enemy, and you have pretty, you have resources that you can mine safely. So again, both teams mine these resources. And Rosa builds 2 barracks at the same time. I don't know if this is efficient, and builds all of these axemen, but they're being slaughtered by these spearmen because they don't have enough range. Not only they don't have enough range, but apparently if you like if the spearmen don't use torches, and the axemen does, the spearmen can attack the axemen while the axemen cannot even see the spearmen. So they're like a pretty big counter to axemen. And they seem to be building like their own barricade around Rosa's base. Although Rosa is ahead on technology. So if this ends like this, they would win by technology level. And apparently Rosa is building technologies. They're like quite ahead. Although Forcefully Vax Kids spent all of their resources in the very last round and built some and basically got the win by technology level. So they're ahead 2-0. And we move to game 3. Bridges. There's like 800 wood, 800 stone in like each of these corners. And you can have a safer travel if you go through the water, if you research navigation. It seems though that Forcefully Vax Kids got complete control of the map, although they don't seem to be depositing the resources on settlements for some reason. Like I've seen like a lot of these workers going around the corners, but I don't seem the corners to have been diminished. So now Rosa basically built a huge army around the enemy base, and we know what happens at round 1500. They crunch and they basically take this game by destruction. So it's still 2-1 for Forcefully Vax Kids, I think.
Yep.
Okay, so we go to game 4, which is gonna be the empty map, which is not because it's empty, but because this is the empty set. And as we can see, again Forcefully Vax Kids sends like a huge army of workers at the very beginning that makes it really hard for Rosa to be able to mine any of those resources. So it seems that workers are like pretty strong in the early game. They hit like a truck, they hit like 5 damage. So it's not actually bad to have a lot of them and like overwhelm the enemy workers if there's like a contested resource in the middle. However, it seems again that Rosa managed to build like a large army, which is not being countered by spearmen this time. So they might be able to crunch and run 1500. And apparently, oh, I see. Okay, so they didn't manage. So the crunch failed because they were scared of the wolves. It seems like that they were trying to kite the wolves, since that's what you do with spearmen. However, if you kite the wolves near the enemy base, you're just gonna get killed by the base. So, yeah, that's they didn't manage to crunch the enemy base and then forcefully evac skids won by technology. Well, by technology level actually. So they take this game 3-1, and with this they advance to the next round, and we move to the next game in this bracket, which is gonna be the Viper against Tastosis. So we're gonna go in the first map, Ink. So it seems that Tastosis had managed to win this battle for the control of the map, and now they're basically all over the place, and with a lead in technologies and in resources, and they're already producing production structures. So this seems like a tough game for the Viper. They're still ahead in technologies and in resources, and they still have more production. So I really don't think that the Viper will be able to come back. In fact, they don't. And this first game is gonna be for Tastosis. With this, we go to deathmatch, game 2. As we can see, there's no contest here, so the workers basically just kill each other. And now we go to the second phase of the game, which is gonna be from the troops spawned at the barracks. And it seems that the Viper manages to hold its own with only a single MVP spearman. It held up like all the troops that were sent and gave the time to build all of these production buildings. And now it seems that the Viper is on the lead. It has more production, more troops, and it's closer to the wheel. So if this, I don't recall ever seeing the Viper crunching the enemy base, like killing the enemy base. So I expect them to be rushing the wheel from now on. They don't have any more space to spawn, and they get the wheel before. So this 1-1, they managed to even the round and go to game 3. Well, actually, it's a best of 5. Actually, like we would still have game 3 anyways. So let's see. In this map, Tastosis apparently gets these resources on the corner way before the Viper did. So it would seem that they're on the lead. In fact, they're controlling most of the map right now. Or not. It seems that even though Tastosis had like a huge lead on stone because they got like 800 stone from here, the Viper used its resources to build troops and control most of the map. So it's a pretty even game right now. Like they're like even in technologies, they're like pretty even in resources. I'd say actually that the Viper is a little bit ahead because they seem to be more efficient when using torches. It seems that Tastosis wastes a lot of resources on torches, and that's why they cannot get a huge, they cannot stack wood. So now with this advantage, it seems that the Viper manages to build like all of these production structures and gets the wheel before. Oh, it doesn't get the wheel, it just gets technology level tiebreak in the very last round. So this was a very, very close game. The Viper is ahead now 2-1 in this round. And let's see what happens in the fourth game, an empty set. Again, there's a little bit of a contest here. A pretty even one, I guess. I think each of the teams got the resources of their side. And they're like pretty even on resources. Yeah, they're like very, very even on resources. Now the Viper has spent some of these resources on technologies, but they're ahead, but they're behind on the map. However, they don't seem to care that much being behind. They're just like spawning wolves, and they just spawn wolves and see what they get. These wolves didn't do much because Tastosis has way more wolves. However, we're getting closer and closer to the end of the game, and the Viper is still ahead on technologies. There's only 500 rounds left. I don't know if Tastosis is going to be able to crunch or to overcome this technology gap if they don't spend resources on technologies. They seem to be spending resources only on the wolves. So only 100 rounds left. Now Tastosis got the lead in technologies, but the Vipers spent all of the resources on the very last round and got like a clutch win on technology level. So they get this game 3-1 and advance to the next round. Oh, Andrea was very efficient and already updated the whole bracket. Okay, so with this we go to losers round 3. We're gonna be using the same maps, I expect. Let's see. Let's go for losers. Wait, is it losers round 3? Losers round 3. It is.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Nombre muy original versus Odri.
Okay, perfect. I'm glad to have you here. So let's start with this game. It seems that both of these bots are also going for the resources in the middle pretty quickly. There's a little bit of a contest. It seems that Nombre Muy Original is ahead on this little skirmish in the middle. However, they're behind in resources because while they won this upper part here, they left all this lower part undefended. So Audrey got all of these resources, and also it rushed the jobs technology and started building production. However, it seems that Nombre Muy Original built even more production, so now they might be able to come back. It seems that Audrey has like all of these troops surrounding the base, but oh, never mind. Audrey actually got the win by technology, like a very, very clutch win actually, because Nombre Muy Original was only one technology away, and it had already like 40 foot away. That was like 2 rounds because it had like 23 farms. So it was like Audrey got the wheel 2 rounds before Nombre Muy Original did. So Audrey takes this first game, and let's see what happens in the second one. So Nombre Muy Original apparently got all of its units slayed by Audrey. Now Audrey is using this lead to build even more troops. However, if you're not crunching the enemy base, these troops are not as useful because you're going to be controlling the map. There's not going to be deer in this map because everything's illuminated. And well, it seems that Nombre Muy Original is spending the resources and building more production, which seems to be a little bit more efficient in this map. So I don't know if who's going to be able to get the wheel. It does seem that Audrey is spending a lot of resources of wood into torches, since all the units are carrying torches. However, it does win. So it gets a wheel first. I actually didn't follow why they were ahead on technologies, because I thought that Nombre Muy Original was the one ahead on resources. But apparently they got the wheel first, so they got also this game and they're 2-0 ahead. Let's go for game 3. And again, it seems that none of them has found yet the resources on the bottom. Oh, it seems that Nombre Muy Original found them, but they put a settlement and now they cannot even get them. Oh, that's unlucky. But still, I mean, they cannot get the resources even though all of these workers are trying. However, Audrey has not detected the resources yet, while Nombre Muy Original has gotten the wood here. And it seems that they're using these workers, and Nombre Muy Original is using like its huge amount of workers to go and kill some of these production buildings from Audrey, and that might actually be key in this game. And yes, in fact, Nombre Muy Original takes this game by technology, and I think that this worker rush had a huge part of it. So we go to game 4. It's 2-1 for Audrey. Let's see what happens on this empty set map. So it seems that Audrey has gotten hold of these resources in the middle. I don't know what these workers are doing here in the corner. I'm confused. Well, the workers seems to be even more confused. And it seems that Nombre Muy Original is spawning some wolves that are also confused. But besides these wolves, they also constructed like 30 production buildings So I don't know. It seems that Odri must use its army to destroy these buildings, or otherwise Nombre Muy Original seem to might get this game as well. In fact, they're destroying some of the buildings, but it might be too late since Nombre Muy Original got the wheel before the end of the game. So basically, Nombre Muy Original evens this round by 2-2, and we go to game 5. So we have this map, which is pretty similar to one of the maps in the Edward Kill tournament. However, this map is not exactly is not as bad. First of all, because the light can go through water, so it doesn't get you can't see most of the map. And if you research navigation, you actually don't have trouble with the pathing either. So it's actually it's a pretty standard map in this case. However, it seems that Nombre Muy Original won the skirmish at the beginning of the game, and now they're controlling the whole game, the whole map, and building structures. However, here they use this pattern in which they only build like a. Oh no, it was not them that used this pattern, I think. Well, never mind. In any case, they had like a huge lead. They're both waiting for the wheel, but Nombre Muy Original produces so many resources that it gets there first, and it basically gets a super clutch win by 3-2 by overturning this 2-0, and it wins. Yeah, and he advances to the next round. And it's still alive, and I think that actually they get a prize from the tournament, right? There's two. Yeah, basically, if you get to this losers round 4, you're guaranteed to get a prize, because there's gonna be like the 2 teams on the winners semifinals and the 4 teams on the losers round 4 at this point. So yeah, you're guaranteed top 6. So yeah, Nombre Muy Original actually overturned this game and guaranteed top 6. So with this, we go to the next game, which is gonna be Boston Colleges against Felix. We start again with the ink map, and it seems that both are mining more or less the same amount. Although it seems that Boston Colleges was a bit more efficient since it already has level 1 technology. Oh, but Felix has. Wait, Felix has like a huge lead now in resources. However, Boston Colleges doesn't care about leads. They just like go for jobs and build all of these production structures. And they basically get the wheel before. So this first game is gonna be for Boston Colleges. Let's see what happens in game 2. Now they have these resources in the back, and there's no more resources. There's probably not gonna be deer in this map either, because everything's illuminated. Since the Felix workers are confused, Boston Colleges seems to be rushing jobs, which might be the right thing to do in this map unless you're going for a military win. So they now have like a huge production. If Felix don't build any of these structures, it is very unlikely that they can come back, because they're already ahead now in technologies. They're level 3. There's only 1 technology left for the wheel, and in fact they get it. So this is going to be 2-0 for Boston Colleges, and we advance. There's one more game. This is not a best of 3. So let's see if Felix can overturn this game as Nombre Muy Original did in the last round. So we have that Boston Colleges got a hold on these resources here in the corner. However, they are stuck here because they put a settlement on top of one of the resources that they're trying to get. Apparently after some time the workers get tired and they go to other places. So now they're on top on this corner here, but they seem to be suiciding on the enemy base, and they don't seem to be able to deposit the stone that they managed. Well, are they even getting the stone? I'm not sure. Well, but Felix is actually very close to the wheel, and it gets the wheel. Boston Colleges, I don't know if they have a bug. They didn't research any technology. They only spent resources on workers and explorers, I think. Well, I don't know. So this is going to be 2-1. Is Felix going to be able to do the comeback? So this is 2-1 still for Boston Colleges. Let's see what happens on this empty set. as we can see, Boston Colleges gets like a huge lead by getting all of the resources in the middle, or at least most of them. Although Felix rushed jobs, never mind, Boston Colleges did too, and it destroyed all of Felix buildings. So now Boston Colleges has like a huge lead on production as well, and on technologies, and they're only one technology away from the wheel. And yeah, they get it. So they get this round by 3-1, and they are well. Not only they're still alive in the tournament, they also get a prize in the end. So, well, congratulations. With this, we finished losers round 3. Yeah, and they just updated. So now we go to losers round 4. It still doesn't share any of the maps that we use in semifinals. So let's go with the first game. It's gonna be Rosa, the Rosa team against Nombre Muy Original. It's gonna be losers 4 if I'm not mistaken. So this map is waves. There's like a lot of resources here. All of these are 100. I didn't design this map. I mean, it's a good map. Like, you should be able to deal with a lot of resources. There's like a lot of resources. So I guess Rosa built slightly more workers than Nombre Muy Original, and that might be like the difference here, because they're like just that's like free mining. Yeah, they use all of this advantage to build like a huge army. Now they're surrounding Nombre Muy Original's base. Will they be able to crunch successfully? Let's advance. It's around 1500. Well, let's go faster. It seems that this is gonna be a success. Yeah, they had like so many troops, and the base was completely unprotected. So Rosa takes this first game by destruction. Let's go with the second game. So this map is called Snake. There's like some resources, like big resources, scattered around. Both teams seem to be getting a hold of these resources. It seems that Rosa is building again its like signature army. However, this map is a little bit tricky. Will it get in time to Nombre Muy Original's base? Well, these axemen on the top are slightly piercing through all these buildings, and on the bottom as well. But most of them are stuck. So actually, Nombre Muy Original gets this win by technology. Apparently, because there was a problem here with all these troops. As we go to game 3, to the COVID map. You can see there's like 20 wood here, and 50 stone. They both get more or less half of the resources each. But Rosa builds like its army very, very quickly, and now completely overwhelms Nombre Muy Original's defenses. Sorry?
Yeah, it's completely surrounded, so it's no escape from Nombre Muy Original.
Yeah, and they don't seem to be able to build any more structures. Well, they build some, but they get destroyed, so it's not even worth to build them, I guess. I mean, of course, it's hard to know if especially with this lights issue, if your building is gonna be protected or not. Well, but it seems that Rosa does its signature crunch again in round 1500 and takes this win. So it's ahead 2-1. If they win the next game, they're still gonna be alive. Well, if they lose, they get eliminated. Nombre Muy Original has still to win 2 more games. Has to win the next 2 games to win the round. So again, we have the same start, but again, Rosa's army is very, very strong in the beginning, and it surrounds the base. Although these are gonna be a little bit complicated because it's protected by all of these mountains. So it will depend if well, maybe they take into account all of this, but if most of the soldiers of these axemen are on the part protected by the mountains, they won't be able to crunch successfully. However, it seems that they have so many axemen that it won't matter at all if they all go at the same time. So in fact, they all go in and yeah, they destroy the base and they get this round 3-1, and they advance to the next round. So, and that means that Rosa is in the top 4, and they're yeah. And Nombre Muy Original gets a 5th, 6th place in the tournament. So with this, we go to the second game here, which is going to be Testosis against Boston Colleges. We start with the Waves map. It seems that there's so many resources that Testosis units are being run out of bytecode, or of energy, as we say here. It doesn't seem to matter. Testosis basically produced so many units. It got the wheel in round 460 with the 60 workers that they have. So this first game is going to be for Testosis. Let's see how they do in Snake. So here it seems again that they're in the lead because they have a more efficient pathing towards the resources, and they have like a lot of workers. They're getting all of these resources scattered through the map, and they're getting free food as well from the deer that they kill. So they're like way ahead in resources and in technology. However, it might happen the same thing, right? If they have all of these wolves and they try to crunch the enemy base, but they can't get there in time, Boston Colleges might be able to come back. However, it doesn't seem to be the case. They only have like 1 production building. Although Testosis is not getting any wood. Yeah, Testosis is not getting any wood. It has so many units. And it's not producing enough wood to maintain all of these torches. Boston Colleges is ahead in technology level. And I'm not sure if Testosis is going to be able to come back from this. Oh, never mind. Testosis actually spent all of the resources in the very end to get a win by the... They have the same level, but they spend more resources on technology. So they get the second game as well. With this, we go to the third game in the COVID map. There's this little skirmish in the middle for these resources. But it seems that sending more workers is the way to go. They just send so many workers that they just kill the enemy workers and took all of the resources from their set for themselves. So now Testosis seems to have a quite considerable lead. It has all these wolves and spearmen and axemen actually as well. So they might be able to crunch the enemy base because they're getting behind technology by maintaining all of these torches alive. They're not building any production building either. Oh yeah, never mind, they're building sawmills, but it doesn't matter, they end up crunching the enemy base. And they take this win by destruction, so they win 3-0 and also advance to the next round. So with this, there's only 4 teams left in the tournament, which is Forcefully Vax Kids and the Viper, which are still in the winners bracket, and Rosa and Testosis in the losers bracket are still alive as well. So let's move on to the winners finals, which is going to be Forcefully Vax Kids against the Viper.
Round 4.
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry, yeah. Okay, there was actually no spoilers. This was just the match in the losers round. Yeah, here if I click in the wrong folder, I might spoil you what happens in the matches ahead. But here...
Actually, we cannot see the Explorer when you are choosing the file. We can only see the browser.
Oh! How did you know then that I was... Oh, because yeah...
We see the mouse that it's moving around, but we don't see the Explorer actually.
Oh, I see. I was like, wait, you were actually correcting me when I was in the wrong folder without seeing that I was in the wrong folder, I guess.
I guessed.
Oh my god, okay. Let's go. Forcefully Vax Kids against the Viper. Let's go with this first map. Well, we assume that since we had the Edward Kill tournament, you know, Edward Kill is a Trollolo guy, then we'll have a map that is in honor of Rick Astley. This is goal never gonna give you up. So here it seems that both teams are fighting for the resources in the middle. And it seems that the winner of this skirmish was the Viper, so it probably has like quite a lead right now. It has like 3 wolves sitting here. I don't know what they're doing. Well, apparently there's a lot of confused units here. There's a lot of wolves here that... Oh, well, now there's like navigating wolves. Well, it doesn't seem to matter. They're still in the lead. They're pretty close to getting the wheel. Yeah, even though their wolves are not doing much. Yeah, and they get the wheel in round 1300, more or less. And they take this first game. They honored Rick Astley. And let's go for the second game. This map is called Double Spiral. It seems that none of the teams have research navigation yet. Oh, never mind. Force with Axe Kids did, and was managed to send the wolves right across the river to kill all of these Viper's workers. So this means that they basically got that was it, right? Now they have like all the resources in the map. They're building all of these structures while the Viper is cornered around its own base. And well, Force with Axe Kids has all of these wolves around the base. However, yeah, and they get the wheel. So they even this game. It's 1-1, and we go to game 3, which is called Yggdrasil, or Yggdrasil. I don't know how you say that in English. And the thing is that here they're like 50 stone, and then you have a tree of 100,000 wood in the middle, you know. So let's see how they deal with this. So it seems that Force with Vax Kids manages to get all of these resources by just spamming workers and sending them. It seems that workers are really strong in the early game because they can kill other workers pretty quickly. Not only that, they can also kill wolves if they go in pack, like the workers, not the wolves. I mean, well, basically all of these resources allowed them to build like all of this economy, all the technologies, and all these troops, and they basically rush the wheel very, very quickly. So they also take game 2. They're ahead 2-1 in this round. So let's see what happens in game 4. This map is called Vaccine. We have like 20 units of wood here and 50 units of stone here, and there's water on the bottom. We have the COVID map. We also have the vaccine map. Oh, it seems that the Viper send the workers straight away for the resources, and they managed to kill all the workers sent by Forcefully Vaxxed Kids. So they got all of these resources, which actually weren't that much, but they're still like quite a thing. And with these, they're basically building like all of these production structures. They seem to be ahead. And Forcefully Vaxxed Kids seem cornered unless they research navigation. They can go to the bottom side and try to like overturn all of this. Well, they got navigation, but it doesn't seem to help them at all. So the Viper is still constructing all of these buildings, and yeah, they get the wheel pretty quickly as well. So they even the game. Is now 2-2, and we go to an exciting game 5 in winners final. This map is called Rivers. So again, you have like some resources in the middle that you can get if you walk through, like if you go through the boundary of the map. But you can also just cross straight ahead if you research navigation. So this might be a thing. Again, it seems that both teams get pretty quickly to the resources in the middle. However, I don't know what happened, but Forcefully Vaxxed Kids workers seem to be bugged. They weren't able to move, so the Viper got all of these resources, and now it's building like a huge lead. It has like all of these production buildings as well. And this game seems like pretty rough for Forcefully Vaxxed Kids. In fact, even workers are getting cocky and attacking the buildings. In fact, Forcefully Vaxxed Kids hasn't researched any technology. I don't know if this is a bug in their code. But it seems that the Viper got like all of these technologies quicker, and they managed to get this game. And they managed to win this game and to stay in the winners bracket. So with this, it seems that the Viper won 3-2. And we go to the losers bracket, Rosa against Astosis.
Ivan, before we proceed, when are we going to?
Oh, right after this game. Like right now, there's like 4 bots live. Oh, let me put live. I'm seeing that I really in the dark. Okay, so right now we have 4 teams that are currently alive. So we're gonna run this losers bracket round, and one of them is gonna be eliminated, and then these three teams can start joining the general chat. You can be muted if you want. Like, you can join the general chat and just mute yourselves or whatever. And then whenever you have to play, we're just gonna pull you over from the general chat to the secret chat that we have here only for us. And you'll be able to explain to everyone what your bot does. Does that seem right? I mean, of course, if you want. If you don't want, you can just not comment and let me do the job. Although, of course, I don't know what the bot do. I can just guess. Okay, so let's go with this losers bracket game. I think it's losers 5, right? So losers 5 is gonna be Rosa against Testosis. Again, we're gonna have the same maps. So we're gonna have the never gonna give you up map here. So it seems that Rosa's workers are a little bit less efficient than the ones from Testosis. Testosis got like all the stone in the middle and all the wood. So it actually managed to create wolves to counter all these early armies sent by Rosa. And now Testosis seems to be having a pretty solid lead. Well, actually they're behind on troops, but Rosa's troops are like on the top corner here, and they don't seem to be doing anything productive. While Testosis is actually building like a huge economy with all these buildings. To be honest, I'm pretty curious to know what Testosis bot does, because it seems to be doing something different every game. So, like, sometimes it doesn't build any buildings and it just goes to crunch the enemy. Sometimes it builds buildings and goes for economy. I don't know. It's pretty interesting. So Testosis actually uses all this economy and put them to work by researching the wheel, and he gets this first game. So with this we go to the second game, which is gonna be the double spiral one. It seems again that Testosis workers are more efficient here. They're like getting all of these resources right in the middle. They also research navigation, so they got like a huge lead on resources. And they're basically using the wolves. Even though the wolves are not very strong against X-Men. Actually, they're not like X-Men like destroy wolves. With such a huge economy lead, I guess you can just like build more wolves. However, it seems that now the economy lead has faded away. And Testosis is starting to build some production here, but they don't have that much production over Rosa. So if they keep suiciding their wolves, I don't know if they're gonna be able to keep up. However, it seems that they're not only keeping up, they're also building more production, so it seems to be working for them. So yeah, they just keep stacking resources, they're getting closer and closer to the wheel, and the game ends and Testosis is ahead in technology level, so they also take this second game. And with this, we get to the third one, which is going to be Yggdrasil. And it seems that Testosis managed to get like a hold of all of the resources in the map. Although it's illuminating so much territory that it's not gonna be able to get any food from it, because they're not gonna be deer. However, it doesn't seem to matter that much. They're ahead on technology, they're ahead on resources as well, and ahead on an army. Yeah, they managed to crunch Rosa's base, and they take this game by 3-0. This round, sorry. And with this, we have our top 3 bots, which are Testosis, Forcefully Vax Kids, which are gonna play next in the losers bracket, and then we have the Viper on the winners bracket still. So, oh great, we have people in the general chat. So of course, if you want to comment about your bot, you can join the general chat. I think Martin is gonna give you instructions about what to do. well, I don't know what I have to do because I guess Martin is telling instructions. So, okay. So, what should we do?
We hear some noise from Martin.
Yeah.
Not sure if it's his voice.
Okay, hello. Yeah, do you listen to me now?
Okay. Yeah. Well, everyone's hearing you.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Because I had some problems at the beginning, so no one was. Yeah, okay. So we have the Viper and Forceful Upset kids here in the general channel. They will join to explain their bots. I think, if I'm not correct, we are going to show his match, but it's not the final, right? Oh no, yeah.
Okay.
Viper.
So
Also, the Baxex kids.
So yeah, but we don't have Tastosis. But from Tastosis, no one.
oh, okay. So apparently we have no one from Testosis, but we have someone from Forcefully Vax Kids. I guess the Viper the Viper is gonna wait until it's turn to play, because we're gonna go first with the losers bracket.
Okay.
So well, if can you ask? Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, you're ready to join, I guess. Well, hello. You're muted, just in case. Can you hear me? Javier N.
Yes, we can hear
Yeah,
you.
now. All right. Hello.
Oh, okay, great. Hello. So you're from Forcefully Vax Kids, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, you're both there?
We are both in the same place, so yeah.
Oh, okay, great. Perfect. So, okay. So now you're gonna play against Tastosis. How do you feel about that?
Well, it's gonna be about 50-50 probably, but
It's 50-50.
We hope it
Well, I
will.
guess you played like a lot of games in the Scream server, because I think you two and the Viper were always in like the top 3 spots for like the last week, as far as I can remember. So you
Yeah,
you probably played like a lot of games.
yeah.
It's a bit rough because a lot of games just get decided in the first 300 rounds. It's the one that dominates the resources in a lot of maps.
Oh, I see. So what do you do to dominate the resources then?
Basically, we build about 20 workers and even more workers with the settlements to try to win them up in the early game, hope and basically hope for the best.
Okay, so I saw that you built like a huge army of workers, and it seems to be working pretty good. Like you send them, and if there's like any like contested resource, you can just get a hold of it with like all of your flood of workers. So I don't know, is that legit? I mean, I'm not that into the meta, so apparently workers are pretty good, right, in early game?
Yeah, because we saw that a worker is like half Axeman in terms of damage, and it costs like a quarter, and it doesn't require any technology. So yeah, it's basically awesome for the early game.
Yeah, it seems to be a pretty early game unit. So even though the game at the very beginning seemed to be like a bug hell, an unbalanced bug hell, we did put like a lot of thought into balancing the game. And the thing is that even though like everyone did a wheel rush, which I still not sure that it was optimal back then, but it was probably like day one, so it doesn't matter. What we were really scared of, at least what I was really scared of, was the wolf rush. So I thought the wolf was like a pretty strong unit. It can just like sense other units. It doesn't have to light anything. You don't have to spend wood on maintenance. It can just sense any other unit on the map. It's like very quick. It can just run away, and it's like a very good like early game unit. So we're like, okay, we don't want this unit to be so OP. So we did workers in such a way that they just get one shot or like something like that by Axemen. So they're not that good of a combat unit. But against wolves they do. Like 2 or 3 workers can do like serious damage to a wolf. That's why it's designed this way.
Yeah, the problem with wolves is that they are expensive and they go
Oh, sorry, I
very scarce because it's not.
Oh, sorry, I don't. Uh,
You don't hear me?
No, you seem to be like. It seemed like you were like super far.
Yeah, the problem with wolves is that they are normally very expensive because foods normally is scarce because not many deer found with such quantity of units around the map. So until you get jobs, you only have one, two, maybe three wolves.
Yeah, that's true. Like late game is like the easiest to get, but like in the beginning it seems hard because you don't have that many deer in the map.
It should be possible to keep some tiles. I mean, if you dominate enough the map, you should be able to keep some tiles in the shadow so the deers keep spawning.
Yeah, but we haven't implemented that. We thought a bit about it, but we.
You can actually leave like traps and they just like kill themselves the deer. Also,
We don't really have a lot of collective behavior apart from when fighting. So keeping an area in the dark and exploring it every once in a while to find the air was very complicated for the benefit
Yeah.
it would.
yeah, it seemed to be hard. I had an idea of what a late game meta would look like, but I've never we never got to that point. I don't know if it's even viable. But the thing is that, what do you think? You think that every unit should have a torch on? I thought that explorers would be pretty good. Like it's better if you're in the dark, and explorers can just throw their torches to the enemies if they see them.
Yeah, the problem is in order to do that, your explorer needs to have a torch in the first place, and it's probably gonna be close to your own units. So if you don't do it perfectly, probably your explorer is just gonna show your own units, and you're gonna get it.
Well, I don't know if you have a micro, like okay, so this is like theory, you know. But if you have a micro that uses the darkness and it's like, okay, here they can't see me. I'm gonna like stay here and attack from here, etc. And you have this mechanic, you can somehow like I think that in expectation you can make it work. Like you throw it like right on top of the enemy, so that enemy is gonna be visible for sure. And the units that are far enough from that enemy can just like use the micro to abuse. Like, of course, maybe some of your units are gonna be visible, but only some of them.
Yeah, but then wolves just destroy you anyway.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like,
Either way, and they maybe will kill your explorer and everything will fail, and that's the hard part. Like, balancing everything out.
can the
Especially with the quantity of experiments already in the dark, but permanently, because everyone does that. So
yeah, that's the
explorer
thing.
can die, and then your units just will die to wolves.
Yeah, well, I know you probably know way better than me, but the thing is that at least we plan the units to be like the axeman beats the wolf, right? The wolf beats the spearman, and the spearman beats the axeman, kind of. Since basically.
Yeah. It's sort of was like that, but we found that in reality it was like the worker sort of beats the wolf if you do it right. The wolf beats the spearman. The spearman is the only one that can reach inside of the enemy base and beats the worker, and you don't use the axe one.
Well, I mean, the axeman seems to beat the wolf.
You can see in most cost effective, but really wolves can just pick off one strong action. We do that. Seems kind of effective. Unless you really spam it like, I don't know, Rosa does.
Oh, I see. Oh wait,
Yeah, we found that basically the Axeman is very good for killing the enemy base, but for everything else, it's not really strong enough because it doesn't really see much. If the enemy doesn't go for go to fight you, you can't really hit them. So yeah, you one axeman can beat one wolf, but the wolf won't come close, and that's it.
Yeah, that's a thing. I mean, the wolves can like run far away, so it's a problem. Well,
Let's see what happens in the game.
okay, so let's see. Yeah, let's go with this is loser 6, right? It's gonna be forcefully vax kids against Tastosis. Game 1, we're playing this invincible map. Do you know this character? If you know the characters that appear in the maps, you're more likely to win. That's like a. So, it seems that forcefully vax kids got a bit ahead at the beginning, and they're managing to control the map in this like skirmish that you talk about in like in the first 300 rounds. So,
Yeah,
what does it
pretty
mean?
much.
Is this game over?
Probably it is.
It's very unlikely that Tastosis will come back.
We don't have Spearman yet because, well, the Spearman are very good at keeping the advantage because they just surround the enemy base and kill everything while it's spawning. But
Yeah, but 21 wolves will do the job.
yes.
Oh yeah, 21 wolves. Yeah, and I guess your team is building more and more economy. They're not building. They're
I
not.
don't know why we aren't. I
Huh?
don't know why we didn't research military training, but the emergency research kicked in and we just researched whatever.
Oh, I see. Well, it worked. So you got the first win here. I don't know. I guess that this game is hard. Like communication is like awfully hard compared to the other games that we did in the past. And
It's rough.
What about the traps? Because you are, I think, the only teams that build traps.
yeah, that's true. You're the only team that build traps.
And I have seen several games that you have so much advantages in the map that the traps are not really useful, in my opinion.
Yeah, but if we get pushback late into the game, that sometimes happens, that their traps really help a lot because many wars, and normally that's how you get pushback late into the game, will die to the traps.
Okay.
And they're in a simple pattern, so our units can just avoid them.
The idea is basically that trappers are very cheap, so we just build one or two, and if they get a single wolf, it's worth it. So
Oh,
yeah,
It's like a backup plan if the enemy team wants to expand again.
Exactly. And sometimes even it helps us even in the middle of battle.
Okay.
If the trapper just gets cocky enough.
it's probably well tested.
Do you? I have a question. Do you choose what units to do dynamically, or always are they like the same? Like I will do this amount of workers and this amount of, or at least something like I always do wolves and I always do spearmans, or it's just if I see some enemy that is doing, I see a lot of units or something like that of the enemy, then I do this type of, or the other type of enemy to unit to counter the enemy, something like that, or you just ignore that and just build your units.
the base doesn't really know what's going on usually. If it sees enemies, it will answer appropriately. If there are axemans, it will call for spearmans to be spawned. If there are spearmans, it will spawn wolves.
Okay.
And also settlements can be built in the middle of battle between workers to basically spam more workers and overwhelm the enemy.
Okay, so you do it like, okay, that's good, but I mean, but you do it always locally, not like a global or macro strategy. Just if the base sees something, then I react to it. Maybe settlements too also, but that's all, right?
Yeah, the only thing you
Yeah,
could
okay.
call dynamic is that if we don't have one resource, we then build the
Okay, yeah, of course.
Okay, so how do you see this map? Hey.
Well, it depends a lot if our workers randomly go down or up at the start.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
And Explorer codes that we need rafts early, and then that might help.
Okay, so sorry. Let's go with it. Just in case, if you're looking at the stream, it's better to look at my shared screen because this takes like 3 or 4 seconds.
Yeah,
to-
we're looking at the end.
Okay, great.
Not that
So
much.
let's see what happens. It seems that your workers got ahead. But now okay, they got ahead to like they went there correctly, but now they couldn't turn back because they went in the other direction. So now there's like a little bit of a skirmish here in the middle. But
Yeah.
it seems that Tastosis already has the wolves, and now those wolves are like piercing through all these workers.
Resources for the settlements when we needed them.
Oh, rip. Well, it seems that Tastosis got like all of the resources. How likely is the comeback?
Not very much.
Oh, see. So it's true. The 300 round statement.
Which is the guaranteed technologies that we need before jobs, so they're just is gonna chill. So,
Oh well, but those
Yeah.
wait the worker comeback. No.
Yeah, we saw that the enemy wasn't really surrounding our base, so we tried a comeback.
Oh.
Apparently, it's not going very well.
yeah.
Wait, I don't see those workers killing wolves.
Well, yeah, they are basically surrounded, so it's hard.
But Tastosis isn't doing a lot.
well, the traps.
The traps are killing some wolves.
Yeah, and the thing is that Tastosis is just like, it seems that Tastosis has a problem here with the wood. That every single unit has a torch and never takes it down. I think there's a technology that I didn't meant to be that way, but that it was useless because you could just throw the torch in the ground and pick it again. I mean, the technology is not completely useless, I guess. Flint.
Yeah, but he's just gonna research the villain.
That will also happen to us, but we just left some margin where when we are doing things to have enough for the torch, and we don't really spam that many workers if we don't need them, so it wasn't a problem.
I see. It seems that in the late game, if you don't have sawmills, you might struggle a lot, like with the torches.
Yeah.
Well, so this is 1-1. Let's see what happens in game 3. So, what's your prediction on this map? This map is called Bracket. So this is like the bracket that we're playing.
Very rough.
If our pathfinding works better than theirs, we might win. It seems to depend on who gets to.
Oh, both explorers got to the middle resources. Now both teams know they exist, at least if you communicate. But it seems that your horde of workers got first.
And Tastosis didn't communicate anything either. So
But we got to them apparently, so we might win.
Yeah, you got to them first, and now you got wolves. Oh, Tassosis also has wolves, but that wolf was killed by a horde of angry villagers.
yeah, it's
And-
looking at the economy bar, it's
Looking good, yeah. We don't have much food though, so we are struggling to research.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but it seems that your team is ahead on
Yeah.
resources. It will be able to build like a whole, like a ton of farms whenever it gets the jobs technology. And it's still ahead. It's ahead in technologies as well. So this seems like a good game for you.
Yeah, but we don't have enough workers to go and kill deers.
But I think we just researched jobs, so we might
Yeah,
start actually producing.
we spawn a worker because we don't have any.
Wait, don't.
Yeah, we have 0.
Well, I hope they mess up as well.
Well,
Yeah,
No.
worker.
you build like
Alright,
16 farms. 16 farms. So okay, I guess that the food shortage is now like off. Like the food shortage is long gone right now. But you're still tied in technology level, although you have like 2,000 of each resource.
But that's because we research all at once, because then we can find the most optimal path.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that just goes boof in one turn.
Okay. Oh, nice. So that means that you're ahead 2-1 now in this round. So let's go to game 4. This map is called turfs. You have your turf. The opponent has the opponent turf. So I guess since this map is small, I'm gonna put it like 4 speed instead of 8. So as you can see, there's like a fight here in the river. Oh, they research navigation first.
Yeah, but
However, it didn't matter.
really-
They just navigated to suicide. So I guess that now you have control of the map. At least your team has. Although they are ahead in technologies. So how likely is how likely is the comeback?
That Axeman is dealing some damage. If we don't spawn some Spearman fast, we might be in trouble.
Oh wait, but you don't have any barracks actually. Oh wait,
Yeah, we don't have military training.
Yet,
We don't have
apparently.
enough.
Oh, Rave, the early military training actually was like really important in this game apparently.
Yeah.
Although, well, who knows? Like both of you are like pretty even in terms of resources. Like you're slightly ahead. Like if no one.
We have jobs now, and
We are slightly ahead.
if we spawn our work, they have. This might be-
Oh well, they start building like they started doing like the.
It's,
this is pretty much.
yeah. Not
Yeah.
looking.
Oh well, the barracks. Oh, no time to spawn.
If they spawn a lot of things and we don't, we might still
Research more.
research more.
What was the key here from the comeback?
It-
They built some.
It seems that the early troops, like they were so close that actually having early troops means that you could just like overturn the whole thing, like pretty quickly. Like workers are.
They rush us.
And they rush. I'm like really curious to know like when Tastosis rushes and when it decides to go for economy. It probably has like some code there.
I don't really know, but I think they might be comparing our technology, and if they don't think they are gonna win, they rush.
Oh wow.
Okay.
I'm curious. I'm lucky that they're not here. Okay, so we have then another exciting game 5. You've played like already 2 game 5s in a row. So what's gonna happen in this one? This map is called Raise. You really want to go to the middle, right?
Very rough.
Very
We should
rough.
get drops, probably.
So we can see it again at 4 speed. So it seems that both teams are
We asked
slightly
for a-
pathing through. They're gonna get more or less at the same time. I mean, you said you do 20 workers, right? If you do 20 workers, I guess you're gonna be fine.
We are getting some deers, yeah.
Yeah?
Deers.
It seems that both teams got deer. Although, they got apparently Tassos got distracted by the deer. Now they're not getting to the resources. Or never mind. They get to the resources.
I think
But
Deposit, and they
Oh,
and the
yeah.
planning just guided them.
well, but we built a settlement, so that could help.
oh yeah, actually your settlement is now there, and your team killed the enemy workers. Now they're building walls.
That's one. Testosis and one settlement also right now.
Sorry.
Testosis also has a settlement in the middle.
Oh, and both teams actually got navigation. So now, there are like 2 wolves doing some serious damage there. Oh, but that wolf is like killing workers. oh my god, that bane of the workers.
Backdoor.
Yeah,
So-
the workers don't see the wolf with enough time to kill it.
Oh.
Yeah.
We have a lot of units, but they aren't really being useful, so
We have jobs now, so it might be.
it's not very clear.
I'm not sure if you have jobs. Like if you have jobs,
I
like,
don't know. I think we have. I know we don't. We have
I think it's your
five,
6th technology because
much-
the same happened in the other game. Like
Yeah.
I mean, I would expect that if you had jobs, you already started like spamming buildings, right? So it seems that Tastosis got like the early lead that you talk about. However, this game seems it doesn't seem that bad, right? It seems like as long as they are not able to do stuff with their, I mean, they managed to get all this extra food here, but if they seem to be wasting a lot of wood.
Yeah, I think the base is building a lot of extra units because it's seeing other wolves and things.
We are
It can see the wolves, right? These wolves are like. Can the base see the wolves? These wolves are in the dark.
They were at the bottom previously.
But
And now
they're in the dark.
yeah, but the base has 0 detection, doesn't it?
Oh, it has 0. I thought it has 5. Oh no, never mind. That's the explorer. Yeah, the base can see the wolves. That's funny.
Yeah.
Now we're building slowly.
Yeah, we have some.
We're being slow.
We are struggling to build because that terrain is kind of hard, but we are now getting to it.
It's gonna be close, I think.
Oh man, this is like a tough game, but like it seems that again like the study has like a huge lead on troops, but if these troops don't get to the enemy base and like rush it or something or start killing the buildings, now it seems that your team is way ahead on the buildings. Like Testosis only has like 1 query, and it has less than the other of the other 2 buildings as well. So if this keeps going this way, you might be able to get the
during the
technology.
last rounds, we stopped building units and buildings, and we just focus on getting whatever we can with what we have.
I see. Well, I see you're still building walls. It seems that these walls are getting in and getting.
They will
like,
not survive, yeah.
it doesn't seem to matter that much. You're like still so far ahead on resources.
Yeah, I don't know if we are gonna research the wheel, but I think we're gonna go pretty deep on tech.
Oh yeah, and indeed, that's one like a clutch win with in the win and round almost 1900. Oh, that was a good game.
That was close.
So okay, so you got the second 5th game that you played, and now that means that you go to the winners grand finals. So basically,
I don't have the prices in mind right now, but this game was worth about 100 euros.
Yeah, I think it was worth like 50. Where do I have it? I think I have it on a paper. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I actually forgot to put it like before the tournament, but it's basically like 6th place is like 50, and 4th place is like 100, 3rd place is 150, 2nd place is 200, and 1st place is 300. So every game is like worth 50 except the last one, which is worth 100. Like if you win the grand finals. However, to win the grand finals, you have to win 2 times, right? Because you come from the losers bracket. So you have to beat like 2 consecutive rounds of best of 5.
We go into the Viper.
Yeah,
and
let's bring the Viper here.
The Basket Kid can stay here so they can talk.
Hello. Yeah, you're muted.
Hello.
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 So let's put the first game that you're gonna play. Well, we're gonna play later.
I want to talk about the memes before, because these 2 teams had lots of memes there in the channel.
Oh sure. What's going on with the memes? I saw a lot of text, but I was doing maps, so I couldn't like actually read the memes. Like 45 maps that we had to do, and and I couldn't. And you have to put like 1 by 1 each of the resources and the.
Well, I didn't do them, but they were really fun.
So basically, it was forcefully Backset Kids saying you see you at the top, right? Something like that.
I don't know if they beat them or it was Tostosis or who was. Like because he didn't have like the team name.
Oh yeah, actually, it's true. They were not. They was at Enred. We don't know if it's Castosis. Okay.
I think it is. Like, there's at least one at Enred. Like, if I go to the I think he's in Testosis. She's in Testosis. I don't know.
Well, we had lots of questions for Tastosis, but we don't know. So yeah.
I'm pretty curious about when Tastosis board goes for technology and when it goes for rush, but I guess I will never know. Okay, so the Viper. So what about your bot? Your bot also depends only on the first 300 rounds.
Well, I feel like the game is like really snowbally. Like if you win the early game, you get jobs first, and then you start building all the economy buildings. So I think the first 500 rounds or so.
Yeah, I mean, it's legit. I mean, 500 runs is not that bad. It's not like the first 50 runs. If you have 100
It
Right,
depends on
actually.
the map, right? So,
And we have seen some comebacks actually when building war units a bit earlier, so you can.
yeah, but still like the early rounds, I think.
Yeah.
So, how's your bot different from the bots we've seen here?
I don't think it's much different.
I mean, it's much different.
I think it's 50% every game, depending on the map.
50%. So,
Like the last 5 days or so, we were like the 3 teams, and we were like rotating places.
oh, I see. Oops. So, I don't know, like, so what do you do in the early game? Like, for instance, like, how does your bot start?
Like we always do 5 workers, and depending of what the base sees, we maybe do more. We also do 1 explorer if we don't see the enemy base right away. And from there, if we build settlements, and the settlements might build more workers. We try to build domestication or military training depending on the resources we have. Like if we have more food, we do domestication. If we have more wood or stone, we go for barracks and military training.
Oh, I see. And you go for both, or once you settle for one of them, you're like, okay, I'm just like spamming wolves.
We go for both, but like if we do barracks, if we do military training, we do barracks first.
Oh, I see.
And if we see like a lot of water or resources across the water or that thing, we also prioritize doing rafts before doing more workers.
And do your units carry always a torch?
Like we found that spearmen was kind of never worth to carry a torch really, but because it illuminates so little that like you don't see the enemy soon enough, so it was kind of pointless.
Yeah,
and then we have
like
a check.
combustion.
Yeah, but like that's so late. We have like a check at around 500, I think, that if we don't have jobs by then, we stop like doing torches for a bit and also smoke signals, because some instances we run out of wood, and we've seen some games that happening that people burn wood and then you don't have wood to do other things.
Yeah, I see. The thing is that I'm still pretty confident that you can do something. The thing is that this year I had like I couldn't do like a very, very good bot, so but I'm still confident that you can do something with the with explorers, like that the explorers are like secretly OP. Like the fact that they can just throw their torches like so far away. You can just like keep all your units in the dark, and if you have like a few explorers that just act exactly the same as your troops, so they basically go to the same places, your troops are gonna be in the dark. But if your explorers do the job correctly, their troops are not gonna be in the dark. So your spearmen can like actually do like a lot of damage.
Like maybe you can, but I feel like most of the games are decided so early that there's not really late game. Like it's too far gone when we like for one team.
Well, but there are still games that that they have wolves and the other one has like spearmen and axemen and stuff like that. And I think that like, of course, like in the early game where you're like just like rushing with workers, it doesn't make a difference. But if you're like already like in a map that's not like super close or something, and both of you have already a barracks, like that can make a difference. Like you're first not spending that much wood on torches, and your troops are more in the dark than their troops, so you might be able to sneak attacks undetected, and sneaking attacks undetected seems like very, very good. But I don't know, maybe like, of course, like there's like so much stuff here, and communication is so rough that it probably like consumes most of the bots' time. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so let's see the maps.
Oh yeah,
Are waiting for us in the final.
the good old maps. Okay, so this is the first map. Oh, do you know this character? You know, if you know the character, you're more likely to win.
Yeah, that's how it works.
This map is called Steven Universe for obvious reasons. Okay, let's get started. So
Just a little stone, right? Or
no,
maybe
but
there-
these stones are worth 150, while the wood is just 15. So, I mean, there's more wood than stone, but not that much wood. And it seems that none of these 5 workers that you sent found any resource because they just went to the west, to the east.
No,
Well,
it's random for us.
Oh.
If we see resources that are abstracted, like we kind of ignore them.
oh, I see. So that's why. So this map is not very good for for that kind of heuristic. Because you can get in, right, by these like points here.
Yeah, like if you do pathfinding to the resource, you would find it.
So this seems like a rough game since like forcefully vax kids here has complete
this is
control of the
probably
map and
why-
all of the resources. However, do you think you can do a comeback here?
No, no way.
Yeah, this game seems rough.
maybe you can even speed up.
Yeah. I remember back in the days. Oh well, they already did the wheel. Well, if the people from Forceful Vax Kids want to comment, they are free to do it. They're also playing these games.
Well, the main difference here is that if we see a resource, we try to go for it, and if we can't go in set amount of rounds, then we are not.
So you have a counter of the number of rounds you have tried to. go to-
Yeah, and if we fail, then we blacklist it and never try to go for it again.
But
Well,
what,
we
what,
do that after 300 rounds or something like that.
Wow, 300 is like a large number. But what happens is, like, for instance, the hair, like Steven's hair would be closed, like all of these, there would be mountains here all around. And you see like a resource and you say, I'm gonna go for it. And you start circling, but then you find like resources that are closer, right? Because you, like, whenever you're here, you know, the wood here is gonna be closer. So every time you change a resource, are you resetting that counter as well?
We don't if the new resource is like at most two distance away from the old resource because otherwise it's gonna change also.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay, that seems fair. Like otherwise, like if there's like a square with like 4 forests in the middle, it would just be circling forever, right?
Until they
Yeah.
then we then it will get confused.
Okay, well, great. This is game 1. See game 2. How do you feel about this map? This was intended to be the Pokemon Unite map. You know, this game that was released like a month ago, I think, or less. But it was like super hard. There were so many walls, so this was like a cheap imitation. So this wood here is like worth 100. The stone is also worth 100, except like in the good parts where it's like 200 each. Well, you know.
Well, there aren't too many resources to sustain everything really, but
So how do you feel about this map? Who's gonna win?
I think like they do more workers in the beginning, maybe they win.
Okay, so let's look at it. What happens? So, well, you're doing more or less the same amount of workers. Oh, it seems that the Viper did a wolf here that's like causing some damage. Although, oh, whoa, that worker just kited the wolf to death.
yeah, that's the thing about workers.
I think this.
Yeah, no, it seems that Force with Vax is dominating the whole map again.
and now we have to not make too many units and actually go for
It seems like they're.
Have you thought about having like an indicator when you have the enemy surrounded, so you don't need any more units or something like that?
Yeah, but we don't know how to do it. So we basically count how many units we have in total. If we have a lot of them, we assume that we must have map control. So let's go for that. But we don't. It's not really a great system.
I see. Well, it seems that
I guess
all
it
your
works.
buildings are spamming something. What are they spamming? Like every 10 rounds, they send a signal.
Yeah, they are communicating basically that they are alive, so that we don't make too many buildings, or otherwise you just get resources from the buildings and put them into more buildings, which is not very smart.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
No.
Okay, so with this
It's very
game, it's 2-0 for Forcefully Vax Kids. So we go to game 3 in this game called Gold Mine, which you just have resources on the outside. It's not like even a mine. So it seems that each team should be able to get its own resources. It's like 50 wood and 50 stone on each side for each of these tiles here. It seems that Forcefully Vax Kids got all of its resources and it's starting to get some of the Vipers one. Because like with this huge horde of miners.
Well, it's
Oh,
pretty.
And
big,
they're
and
stalemate.
now maybe they have too many workers once the resources are gone.
well, it doesn't matter that much. Oh, those workers are like killing the
And
Um,
this Spearsman.
Yeah, they are seeing each other across the.
oh, that wolf is just gonna tear through those spear and
mountain.
rip. It seemed that these spearmen were unprotected. Like if only there were like a couple of X-Men there, it would have been like a complete bloodbath. But a spearman is like pretty weak by itself. It has like slightly more HP than a worker.
Yeah, and wolves completely counter them.
Yeah.
Really.
The point of Spearman is basically keeping them in the dark and hoping that there aren't any walls there. Because if you have Axemans, Axemans and Spearmans versus only Spearmans, the Spearmans will win because the Axemans won't really do anything, and but with it, with their torches, we light up the spearman. So basically, they all get murdered together.
Yeah.
Actually, I think the key strategy here is just placing traps on the mountains, so they are protected.
What?
I mean, if you can see in the right hand side, there are
Oh
like,
yeah.
5 traps placed on the mountains.
Nobody can step on this mountain anymore.
Yeah, the trappers are going ham.
The hard thing about trappers is that we need to know where our own traps are. Otherwise, if our own wolves die in our own traps, they aren't really worth it. They become too expensive.
Yeah,
So we are placing them in a pattern that all the units know, so that if they are in the dark, they won't step where there might be a trap.
Oh yeah, that's nice. Yeah, that's a good idea. Like you can just like have a common knowledge of where you're gonna put traps, so you don't ever step on those ones. Okay, so this game is also for Forcefully Vaxxed Kids. So did they win this one 3-0?
Yeah.
Okay, so this means that we have a grand finals rematch, and we're going to round 6.
And then 2 maps won't be shown.
Sorry.
That 2 maps won't get played.
So let's see. The first map is called corners. So in the corners you have like nice resources. In yours you have like 20, but here you have like 100. So you really want to go to those places, and you have like this huge like this amount of mountains in the middle. So who's gonna get the wheel first? The wheel, the navigation. So both here. It seems that your bot like the Viper prioritized wood over stone, since they got like all the wood and like ignore the stone until the very end.
Yes, we do.
Oh, I see. So they're here, looking at the horizon and the sea.
And also, I saw a
Oh.
signal from the Explorer. Was the Explorer saying that this was a water map?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, we did too.
Okay, so the Viper got navigation first.
Yeah,
but-
got navigation, but Forceful Vex Kids got it right after. And with its 20 workers, basically overwhelmed the 5 workers of the Viper. It seems that workers are OP in the beginning. It's just like strong.
But they are returning to base because now the build doesn't know.
Yeah, we don't build settlements on top of resources. So basically, when there's this kind of island with a lot of resources, at first we need to go back because there's
Yeah.
nowhere to build the settlement.
You first need to clear one tile at least.
Oh, so this game seems also rough for the Viper. No, it's like a wolf in its base. A navigating wolf.
Like in this map, it's hard to spawn buildings, I think, because all the water.
Oh yeah.
But there's a lot of connected terrain in the corners. It's not bad.
Well, but it seems that the Viper managed to get its buildings, and it's not being bothered too much by Forcefully Vaxxed Kids. So now the Viper has like a lot of production, and unless Forcefully Vaxxed Kids sends its army there.
Yeah, we don't have jobs. We lack food.
Oh, that's the thing.
Very soon, I think we will have jobs.
However, I guess once you get jobs, you might be able to do
Yeah.
like 20 farms.
All the workers are on the water right now.
Peel off, some
Oh yeah, all the workers are underwater.
Oh, that's not good.
Well, we're going to produce an extra worker there.
Oh, they are the farms.
10 farms,
Like
11 farms.
11 farms. And now
Yeah.
it's starting to go to sawmills. But still the Viper has like 655. It still has like more production and more even production. But now all of these troops are coming in.
Yeah, we build a second wave.
And the Viper doesn't build a second barracks, it seems.
And now we have a spearman. Now,
Like we do, but it's like we don't have space.
Oh, I see. Oh no, all these buildings are being destroyed now.
Viper's closer in tech, though. This might be close. Don't know if we're going to catch up.
Yeah, but we do have a lot of resources, which might be enough to catch up.
Yeah, the last round, the last second, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah,
they it seems that Forcefully Vaxxed Kids got the wheel first. Well, it was actually closer than expected after the first wipe. Let's move to game 2. This map is called Wet Resources because you can see there's like a lot of resources here in the middle. In water, these are like worth 100 each, I think.
Just a reminder that we are seeing 2 very good bots already. I mean, they do a lot of stuff. They try to counter the enemy, to kill the enemy workers, and also they decide when to start building for economy, when to save, when to do drops.
Although it seems that one worker alone was able to hold all of these Forcefully Vaxxed Kids workers, and now they have a spearman here that's like doing like it.
Oh, that's really rough.
I don't think we can see that spearman.
Well, you can see it with the
workers.
base. At least you can spawn in the other side, right?
Yeah, but the workers are gonna try to kill the other worker.
Oh, I see. Oh, they go for the workers. They
Well, some workers escaped on the top, but there aren't that many resources left anymore.
Well, it seems that the Viper got all the
And they are
wood,
getting overwhelmed.
and now it's gonna go for the stone. It has also navigation.
So, what do you think is the difference between this map and the others that now the Viper got the advantage in the early game?
I feel
I
it's just
think-
random.
in the early game, I think he killed 2 or 3 workers of ours that were carrying resources and trying to return to base, and they fucked up. They bumped into each other, and that got him.
I think it's kind of a rock paper scissors. It seems that Forcefully Vax Kids does like 20 workers, like no matter what, or does it depend on
Yeah,
something?
we do.
Oh, I guess so. I guess that if there's like a contested resource in the middle, you always win. But if there's not, then you might be just like spending too many resources. I'm not that sure. But here there was a contested resource. The thing is that apparently the Viper also builds more workers if it manages to get to the resource and build a settlement. So
Like we build more workers from a settlement if we see resources or if we see enemy workers and just enemy workers.
oh, I see.
This Spearman is clearly the MVP of the game.
The Spearman has killed like so many workers.
The sneaky
If
Spearman.
if we had like the mechanic of our first game that you had like EXP that you could win, like with every kill, this Spearman would be like a level.
I remember. Yeah.
Well, actually, the base is also like killing all the buildings that the Viper is trying to build there. Like this tile has been built like 100 times, and like every time you see an arrow, it means that a building has been killed.
Yeah, this game is very lost.
Extremely so.
Speed up, Ivan, because it's still 700 rounds to go.
Yeah, let's go with
It's
16 speed.
like it shouldn't be trying to build there because it sees the base. But whatever.
No, it doesn't see it. Like it maybe knows where it is, but it doesn't see it.
The worker.
Yeah, the worker is just here, so it doesn't get to see the base, I think.
Oh, the other worker that was like in front.
Oh. Oh well, but the worker apparently got like this worker. Oh, this worker can see the base. Oh well, it seems that this worker was killed, the one that was trying to build here, and now you could have the resources to build everything that you needed. Okay, so it's 1-1. Let's go with the third game. Concentric.
Ooh.
So you have like, oh wow, these are like 250 each. Oh my god. Okay, these are 250,
Oh my.
and these are 50. So-
Like stone is not that useful, I feel.
Well, I see that you prioritize wood over stone. Oh, but here you are like mining these and producing more and more workers.
Zoe down just once, maybe.
Yeah.
So we can see a scrimmage.
Oh wow. It built like so
Oh,
many
awesome.
workers, but they were killed like right before they could even act. So it seems that
We're not escaping to see the wolf. Yeah, this is pretty much lost now.
so the Viper seems to be again in the lead.
Yeah. The thing about fighting with workers is that they die on 3 hits. So who gets the first hit is very important.
Oh, that's true.
I feel
That's
like
why-
we have similar micro with workers because they sometimes get like stuck because you don't want to get too close because then the other can move and attack.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that creates those standoffs.
So this is right now 2-1 for the Viper. So we're going to game 4, which is this map here called Umbrella.
Whoa.
As you can see, there's like 50 of each here. And you don't even need navigation, you can get to these ones. And you can see like you have like an
It
umbrella structure.
completely depends on where the random explore goes.
Oh, and let's see it like in slow
This is
motion.
so 50%.
So 50%. So it seems that the Viper is going the wrong way with all the workers.
And some of ours are going the right way, luckily.
I think they saw they're trying to pass.
Oh, but never mind. They were turning around to the other direction, but they're
It's not 50%, right? Because
Yeah, the path,
for
I think-
Ratchet Kids tries to arrive to them while the Viper is ignoring the resources, so he's not going to get there. Right?
Or maybe the pathfinding it's better implemented on the backset kits.
The thing is that
They are not illuminated.
Actually,
You don't-
they cannot
you
see the
can't
resources.
them.
They cannot see the resources.
Okay, they cannot see because they are okay.
But I think
But we don't-
that still like the Viper got stuck here. Like they looped like 5 times here.
Yeah.
Like it seems
But
that
we don't-
the bug path when you have like units obstructing, it's like a little bit harder to implement.
Yeah, we don't have it implemented. Like, it treats like a unit like an obstacle.
Oh, Riff,
It resets. every
oh,
time.
then it resets like every time.
Yeah.
they built a settlement at last.
Finally,
We didn't have any money.
we didn't have resources for a settlement, and
It's
they
on
were
top of,
constantly going back and forth
on top of a
with the
resource.
resources.
Well, now it seems that it's the time for a comeback. So it seems that forcefully Vex kids got like all the resources.
But they aren't really enough, I think.
Well, the thing is that the key difference is also getting like the food to get jobs, right? Because it seems that both
Yeah.
teams rely on jobs like very
Yeah.
intensely.
It's very important, and a random resource. It's the most variable, I think. If the map is really small, everything's gonna be illuminated. Like now, everything's illuminated.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if I have the chance at some point, I'm gonna try to code a bot. But I do think that it's worth not to be like for not all units to have like illumination, and just like leave that to like explorers.
Speed up one because you are in speed 2 and it's pretty
Yeah, well,
slow.
It's
Like, we
it's
need
either the
jobs.
final or the second to final game. in this
Yeah,
one.
we also need jobs. We are building way too many units,
This is a race for jobs, basically.
and I think Viper's winning.
And I think we got it already.
I don't know. I know, I-
No, that was something else. I think.
I think we got drafts.
Okay.
Oh, it seems that the
Yeah,
Viper
I was gonna-
got.
Yeah, we did get drafts. I just saw a wolf walking over water.
Yeah, we got drafts.
Oh,
Here at least this sounds pretty easy to defend the base, right? So
And we finally got jobs, but it's gonna be close, I think.
oh, so it doesn't matter that much. Like so much talk about the first rounds, but here it's like
But that's because there weren't enough resources to fund all the units we
Yeah.
we assumed there's gonna be a big fight over the resources.
oh
But
that
there
wolf. This wolf is just killing so many units. Well, now
we're a bit behind resources in jobs, but we're a bit up. So
Exactly. No.
we,
Sí, bueno,
Really close.
no, bueno.
With-
so it seems that Forceful Vax Kids is a little bit behind on.
Yeah, sí,
No,
bueno.
never mind. Well, I don't know. Like it's like so similar. It's all so similar. No, actually, Forcefully Vax Kids is ahead if you add like technology, and the fact that now these workers are just gonna destroy all the buildings. Unless the Viper creates more units. But there's like one spear in here that's not doing anything.
We are destroying some buildings. Yeah.
But like these workers literally destroyed like the whole thing.
And they rebuild them.
and we really destroyed them.
And it seems that Forcefully Vax
Yeah,
Kids
well,
got
we-
to the wheel first.
It
So
wasn't called 7, it wasn't.
so are we having literally like a best like a literally like fifth game in the very last game? So this is the final game of the tournament, like regardless of who wins. It's gonna be the Viper against Forcefully Vax Kids in a map called Dungeon. So it's like a dungeon. You have like chests with with resources like worth 250 each.
This completely depends on where do the workers decide to go.
So let's go slowly. Then this is like the final game, I guess.
here at least there is not a single pile of resources. So
Oh, but it seems that for some reason, the Viper got like got food at the, at the very beginning.
Because we prioritize food
Oh, I see.
instead of
We also
wood.
Yeah.
That's one more time. Really important. It seems to be
Oh wait,
perfectly.
this base is just killing the workers.
Yeah, they're entering in such a way that they don't see the base fast enough.
That wolf is actually getting some workers.
Might try.
And we are getting some more resources from the top left corner.
Oh yeah, it seems that the map is pretty much all red now.
Yeah, the thing that bugs me is that we might get jobs extremely late again. I think we overdone it with the units.
The wall dance.
And we are killing that barracks, which is good. Because of red.
I'm desperate.
Very close.
Oh my god, the traps here. So the thing is that everyone spawning is
So close to jobs.
oh the traps, the traps,
Oh,
Yes.
the traps got one wall. Oh my god.
No, if you, you have jobs.
Oh yeah, Forceful
no.
Dex Kids has jobs. So
We
that
are
means
starting to place some buildings.
Yeah, this is now.
Don't talk yet.
Yeah, but it's difficult to see how we lose it.
Quedarà segon un altre cop.
Those
Quedar segon. En aquest torneig.
those mountains in the middle are really shielding us from those walls.
Sorry.
Viper also has jobs and more than us. Well, only on football.
We have more banner, but we are still producing the units. I'm not sure what are we spending resources on. I think more buildings, so that's
Everyone's quiet now.
oh well. This doesn't
Oh.
seem.
two walls got.
Well, there's a worker here that's like destroying buildings and going like it has already destroyed like 5 buildings and it doesn't get killed with the traps.
Yeah,
It's
he's avoiding them.
Yeah, he sees them because he has.
oh yeah, true. It has a torch.
All right, now we are going for the win apparently,
Yeah, we're not building units now.
and that's a lot of resources on buildings, so we might get it.
The wolves just going ham on our buildings.
You are
Ah,
I don't think it
technology.
matters.
Oh, and
Yeah.
Force
Oh.
Back Chase gets the final win using by technology.
So close.
Well, it was indeed close. How many fifth games have you played? Well, like you have like really good bots, and I'm really excited.
Viper, we have a question for you. We tried to break your communications, and we noticed that you were using an XOR. And at first, we knew that you were storing like first the X value and then first the Y value and then the X. But then you changed it, and then the X wasn't there. So we're curious what you did on the communication.
It was like really we do like we take the x coordinate, we multiply it by 1051, and then we add the y coordinate, and then we multiply by a number which is a constant, and that constant tells us like what kind of signal it is, and we chose prime numbers just so it's harder to get confused.
Was that constant 1,871?
The what? Sorry.
The constant.
The constant was it 1,871?
Oh, you could have used that.
Maybe we changed it like on the last day. Or like the thing is that like Sunday I was like out all day, so in the morning I kind of changed it and left it there.
Oh.
But it can be because it's a prime number. It's like I remember that 1,000, like 109,044 was like the highest number we could use before overflowing. So the number you said could be like
Yeah. The thing is, we saw that communication, but later you changed it, and we believe you just changed the constant. So we we tried to find a new one, but it didn't work, and it looked like the last bits of your message were like uh, exactly the y value, x or a constant, and we were really confused because the x didn't match, but the y did in every message.
I don't know.
Now I think I know what I want. I think you just were XORing the 1051 x plus y, no?
But it doesn't
Yes,
make
yes.
sense. It's not a multiple of a power.
Oh, but
I
the
think
y
that-
won't be affected. The y will be affected perfectly. But yes.
Yeah, but it was in like the bits.
That doesn't matter.
Oh well, there's like some audio issues.
Yeah, it's far away from the
Yeah,
microphone.
it's very, very far from the micro. I cannot hear it.
Oh, sorry.
Ended up using it because we noticed that sometimes you didn't even see our base and well, it still won, so it doesn't. Earlier, we did break the communications of some people in the earlier tournaments, but now it just the bots were so good that they really didn't need the information, even if you trick them. So didn't spend that much time.
Yeah, like I feel like if the map is not really complicated, like maybe this, it's really decided on the first rounds. If it's kind of labyrinth.
Yeah, exactly. The communication doesn't make it.
Yeah, it's basically a race for the resources, because if you get the some of them, it's like you can spam a lot of workers, just kill all of the enemy workers, and that's it.
I don't know. I think tricking the bots would be pretty nasty. I mean, at least I have a relatively simple bot, but at least it communicates where is the enemy base, and if you just tell that the enemy base is like somewhere else, then all my units are just gonna go there.
Yeah, but with the units we build,
Oh, I cannot hear at all. You're like super far away.
It's pretty cool that there was this kind of reverse engineering and spying other bots. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, if you notice in some of the games that some people played against us in the earlier tournaments, some people just behave erratically. That's because we were telling them to go to the corner. So yeah.
Oh my god. Well, it's part of the plan of designing the communication this way.
It's cool because we were testing that it worked, because I stayed up until like 4 a.m. Uploaded the bot, requested some matches, uploaded the other bot again, requested more matches, and went to sleep and saw them the next morning.
Actually, I do have a question for Backset Kids, because you have a bot uploaded 1 minute too late.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. We try to change the pattern of the traps in case someone memorized it, but we forgot and we tried to.
Okay.
It's only that change.
Yeah, I saw it and I was like, well, I guess that if they tell me something on Discord, well, I will just upload it. But if they don't tell us anything, it's probably not important.
The change is literally one digit to 0 and to 1. Instead of mod 2 equals to 0, mod 2 equals to 1 on the X.
Okay.
That's the only change on the pattern of the trap.
Okay.
Okay, well, it was great, guys, to have you here. I hope you're still around for next year. You're still attempting to do fun
Well,
games.
I feel like this game is way better than. Well, last year I didn't participate, but I feel like the zombie game was kind of, I don't know.
Oh, you didn't like the zombie game?
No, not at all.
Oh, it was. It had its perks. I don't know. For
I evolved a bit against of both the zombies and the opponents, so it was kind of interesting, but it got stale a bit. I think it's more competitive now.
But the infector was great.
I don't know. I don't know if this game was maybe too complicated. Like there was like so much stuff here going on at the same time that I don't know. We even like took 3 weeks so that people.
It was quite the challenge, but I think some people struggle with it.
The only problem I saw with it is that there it was hard to come up with a different strategy because the technologies were just too expensive. And if you were researching them, you may as well just get a bit more resources and go for the win. So there wasn't really a point in which both teams were fighting with more technology, which depending on the team, like I don't know, one had more attack, the other one had fast balls or
Yeah.
blasting torches, so that the explorers could actually throw them or that stuff. So I missed that a bit.
Yeah, they weren't really worth it because they didn't apply to the units you already had. If they did apply to all units, I think they might be worth it, but risky. But
Yeah, that's true. Maybe we should have done that.
yeah, but it was still fun though.
Yeah.
Really fun game.
Well, I'm glad you liked it.
Okay, so I guess congratulations to all the teams that got the prize. But
Yeah, well, actually, to all teams, like actually submitting a bot is already challenging, and
of course, to Force Bucks Kids for winning the tournament.
yeah, exactly, and especially like congratulations to all who participated because like already like submitting a bot and doing something is like actually challenging. Then of course, the higher you get, the more the better that your bot was. Like, yeah, the more congratulations, you know. Okay, so I guess that we'll close the stream. I hope to see you all next year. We like to see your bots play. It's really fun. We'll to all the top 6 teams. We're gonna send an email with the instructions that you have to do to get your prize. It's probably if you've got a prize like some of the years in like before, like the last year, for instance, that was also remote. It's gonna be probably similar. Well, and that's it for today. I don't know if you want to add anything, Andreu.
No.
No.
That-
Okay. Well, see you all. Good games, everyone.
See ya.
See you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.